Hi, everyone, and welcome to week 5 of the virtual Cantina speaker series. This week, I am thrilled to have with us the owner and president of Cool Waters Productions, Mr. Derek Maki. Derek, thank you for being with us tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well.
We hope you're doing well too, and you and everyone on your end in this crazy time.
We are quite healthy on this end. We're just a little stir crazy.
To hear that. Well, um, you're typically a very busy man doing conventions pretty much every week of the year. I want to go back to, as you know, a huge autograph collector. And in 2006, I got to meet my very first Star Wars actor in person and get their autograph. This was at a little show outside of Boston, and that actor was Billy D. Williams. By his side was Derek Mackey.
That would
Derek,
be
can you tell us that was you. I like to say you might not know his name, but if you've met Billy D. Williams, you know you have met and you have seen Derek Mackey. Can you tell us a bit about why you would be standing by the side of Billy D. Williams while he's signing autographs at conventions?
sure. Well, I mean, our company represents over 140 different celebrities. Billy D is just one of them. But the reason that I'm always the one with Billy is because after a 25-year relationship of representing him for personal appearances and speaking engagements and autographs, he's basically become like a second father to me, and he is family now more than just a client. He's an amazing human being, and because of the relationship that we have formed over the last 25 years, I'm basically just, if he goes somewhere, he's like, Derek, you're the one that I want. I don't want another employee from the company. He doesn't want someone else from his camp, to go on these types of events with him. So I've basically become his right hand man, for lack of better terms, with these events. And I think he relies on me heavily, especially as the years have gone by. One of the things that Cool Waters prods itself with is that our clients don't have to do any thinking. And so they know that when they go to an event with us, as whatever the rep says on site, they do it, and they don't need to panic. They know that they're going to be taken good care of, be good taken care of. You get what I mean. So,
Yes. Good hands with
so
you.
but Billy has a special place in my heart. I mean, I love all my clients and respect and admire all of my clients, but Billy is just that one little extra bit of love in my heart for him. So pretty much where he goes, I go. I want to make sure he's well taken care of.
And I'm sure none of your other clients would begrudge you that. He's a very special man.
No, it's funny. I get teased about it sometimes because if we're at a show with more than one client, I always make an effort to break away at some point, either when Billy's on a break or hasn't come down yet, because he goes a little bit later in the day now. And I will always make sure that I make the rounds to all of my clients, check in with them, make sure that they're being taken care of by the rep that's with them. I text throughout the day. So my clients are never alone, but it is funny because if I show up at the table, they will poke fun at me and go, oh, apparently we're getting graced by Mr. Mackey. He stepped away from Mr. Williams for a minute, or something along those terms, and we have a good chuckle over it. But no, they are all very gracious. They know that I take care of everybody and I try to treat everybody equally. And outside the show, when we're on our down hours, I will usually go to dinner and invite the other clients with us. Like, we become like a niche family together. So they know that I'm not ignoring them in any way. And my staff is really amazing. So we have staff that other clientele get to know, and then they kind of just be like, okay, any event that I'm with, that's the staff member I want. And then we start having inner wars with staff going, well, I'd like to sit with so and so, and I'm like, nope, they've requested this person, and sorry, you're out of it. So it's kind of our own little game in the company.
That's great. Derek, we already have questions coming in, some specific to the Ford signing, but we're going to get to that in just a few minutes.
Oh, do I have to answer those questions?
Yep, we're
Oh,
gonna. Hopefully, you can. This first one, I have to add. This one comes from Spencer. Do you coordinate your outfits with Billy D. Williams at shows?
oh, goodness gracious, no. And you know what? And this is what's funny. A couple of times because Billy knows how outlandish some of my outfits are, but he's got some really bright colors sometimes as well. And a couple of times I've gone to get him at his room and we matched too much, so one of us will change. So yeah, no, it's kind of, we don't really plan on it. When we went to the solo premiere, I was going back and forth on whether I wanted to wear a blue jacket or a red jacket because it was like, well, do I want to represent the Sith or do I want to represent Lando? So red or blue. And he did the exact same thing at home. And when the car showed up to pick me up to go to his house to get him, he came out and he's like, you know what? I almost texted you to find out what color you were wearing, but just by sheer luck, we wore opposite colors. But no, it's a running gag with us sometimes. It's pretty funny.
That's too funny. I would. We're going to have a little bit more about Billy D later in our discussion. I want to say, as someone who goes to a lot of conventions, I really appreciate when you moderate his panels at the conventions. It's just always a very professional, fun event, and I always look forward to those. So just want to make sure I say you do a fantastic job with those panels with Billy D.
Well, thank you. That again is another comfort level thing, and we have our own little rhetoric that we go through, and we've got like a good cop, bad cop, because he's very, very serious, and I like to poke fun at the audience, but we work well off of each other. And now, pretty much, unless it's a very specific request from a local media person who wants to host the panel, it's actually in his contract that I'm the host of his panel pretty much all the time wherever we go. Even if we go overseas and it's a language that I don't speak, I'll have an interpreter that will help. But again, it just comes down to a comfort level that, Billy knows if he stumbles on an answer that I'll catch him. I can whisper something in his ear on stage that someone won't pick up on the mic to help him along. So it's just become a really important thing. And we've got a great rapport, to go back and forth, and he'll tease me and it gets, the audience gets riled up about it. So, it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing it because, I mean, for those few fans who have gotten to know me over that I moved to Hollywood originally to be an actor myself. So I'm a big ham and I love being the center of attention. So, it's certainly something that I enjoy. And, speaking of Billy D, I'm sure there's probably some people out there that sent in some items to be signed and are going to be tuning into his panel this Saturday. So I'll just flash this to you guys. Billy was actually at my house today and did his signing. So everybody's items are starting to be shipped today. And we plan on having the balance of them out tomorrow. And as you can see, we did play it safe. We had our masks on and we were actually outside in my backyard to social distance each other. So that stuff is all on its way, and we appreciate everybody that participated with the signing. And I can't wait for everybody to tune in on. You'll actually get to see what Frank exactly was talking about because I'm hosting the panel. It won't be probably quite as fun because it's Zoom and it's not the same dynamic when you're face to face with each other, but it'll be nice. We're going to try and field as many fan questions as we can. So Frank, you got to tell me to shut up because I'll just keep talking.
And we'll keep listening. It works out well. All right, we're going to be talking about tonight mostly about a Harrison Ford send-in signing that you're doing. Let's build this up. You mentioned a 25-year history. Let's talk about Cool Waters and your own experience, your own career goes back to the very beginning of essentially convention signings as we know them in the world of Star Wars with the men behind the mask. You've been doing this for a very long time. Can you, before we start telling people how they can spend their money, which we're going to do, and get a Harrison Ford autograph, let's talk about Cool Waters and how you've built this up over the many years.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't want to bore people, so I'll try to do the semi-nutshell version of it. So as I just mentioned earlier, I moved out to Hollywood to be an actor, but instead of waiting tables to pay my living the way that most actors do, I actually had a job at Universal Studios City Walk. I was head of promotions, and we used to do events at Universal City Walk out here in Hollywood. And one of the events that we did was for the special editions of the Star Wars movies. And I myself was a huge fan. Frank, it's funny you mentioned the first convention you went to. The first convention I went to was the first Star Wars celebration that was thrown by Creation Conventions back in, oh, I don't remember it, but it was the 10th anniversary of Star Wars. And the first person that I met was Peter Mayhew. And this was, I think I was 13 years old, and I've got a picture with him. And, this was long before I knew anything was going to happen in my career to move me towards what I do now. But anyway, flash forward when I moved to Hollywood and I was doing these promotions, Billy D was actually one of our guests at this event at Universal. And that was kind of where I met Billy, and our relationship started. He just really liked how I ran the event, how I took charge of things. He liked my personality. And I was approached by Icons, which is a name that a lot of people don't like in the collector's world. But let me tell you something, it's not a name that I like anymore either, guys. The company screwed over a lot of people, including myself. I'm owed a lot of back payroll that I will never see. I did a lot for that company to put it in a positive light after it was run into the ground. But one of the positive things that did come from it, everybody thinks that Official Pics was the first licensee for autographs and pictures, and it actually wasn't. It was actually Icons, but it was done in a different way because back then Lucasfilm didn't quite know what to do with the license and they didn't know how to handle it. But I remember personally writing the checks to Lucasfilm and putting them in the mail. So I can assure you, we were before Official Pics. Official Pics came along and did it a better way. They did it, in a way, the right way. And but with that being said, one of the reasons why Lucasfilm kind of grabbed onto the company was because we represented Dave Prowse, Jeremy Bullock, Warwick Davis, Kenny Baker, Peter Mayhew. There were 6 of them. You have to forgive me. And basically, these guys were going out on a tour called The Men Behind the Masks. And we had branded the tour. We had logos for it. We had special merchandise created for it. And went out. So when I came on board, it was to bring my relationship with Billy D and also Maria de Aragon, who played Greedo, who was also at my Universal event. And Icons had approached me and said, look, we'd really like you to work with us in the Men Behind the Masks tour. Let's make Billy D and Maria part of this tour and then grow it and make it, bigger. So when I came on board, part of my job was to bring Billy and Maria into the fold, but also to approach other clientele. So we got Mark Hamill involved and some other behind the mask people. And then it kind of blew up and it became a much bigger thing than what Lucasfilm thought it was going to be. And then Icons went bankrupt and screwed over a lot of fans that had prepaid for props and prop replicas, and it was a big mess. So I actually went back to my job at Universal, and while I was at Universal, Billy had called me and asked me, we had like 2 events lined up through the Icons company, the Men Behind the Mask tour. And when Billy had called me, he's like, well, Derek, I know the company's bankrupt, but he's like, I'm still being advertised as a guest of this show, that we had set up. So, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I'm lucky that I got my job back at Universal because in essence, I was unemployed. I'm thinking, what does this rich, famous actor want me to do about his little convention appearance? But I didn't say that out loud. That was all in my head. So what I said out loud was, Mr. Williams, what would you like to do? I'm more than happy to help you. And he goes, well, why don't you come with me and I'll just pay you directly. And, we'll kind of just go our separate ways after that. So I did it as a lark originally. But then after the last event that we did, he ended up calling me again because his agent had gotten a call about another convention. And he basically said to me on a phone call, very much like that one was, you're going to handle all this for me. And that was that was the kickstart of the management side of Cool Waters Productions. And then I went back to the guys from Men Behind the Masks, Jeremy, David, Peter, Kenny, and told them that I was going to start up my own company. And, they had been burned so badly from Icons that they basically said, Derek, we don't want to have an exclusive contract with you the way that we did with Icons, but we personally like you and don't mind working with you. So you are more than welcome to represent us, but it's not going to be exclusive. If they got, a call directly or through an agent, their acting agent, they would do it. So I kind of built the company up. And, a lot of fans don't understand. They think it's just a simple thing and it's some fans get jealous or aggravated because they think like I have an ego. You know, what they don't understand is it's not an ego, guy. It's a licensed business, and I am actually a manager and hold a license in the state of California for being a manager, and I cannot do something that is unprofessional. It would make me look bad and make the client look bad. So everything that I do, everything that people see me with my company online or at conventions, it's all done with the intention of representing the client on a very professional level. And people shouldn't be jealous or get mad at me because if I say no to somebody, there's a reason behind it. It's not just because I'm trying to be an ass. But a lot of people think that that's what it is. But it's neither here nor there. I know that I do my best, and Frank has met me a million times at shows, and he knows because we've talked. Frank, you can attest to what I'm saying. I'm there. I help the fans more than you think. So,
And I just want to put out, the word professional comes up when people talk about you and the work that Cool Waters does. I hear the word professional, uh, more so than any other word to describe Cool Waters and Derek Mackey. So I can honestly say that.
good. That makes me feel good.
All right.
So yeah, so there you go. I think I answered the question, right? It was,
You
yeah, I did.
did.
I did. Okay, good.
Try to imagine Billy D calling you up and saying, "I want you to do this for me," and starting a whole new career, a whole new path that you probably didn't think even existed.
Oh no, not at all, not at all. And back then there were only a handful of people who did what I did, and they're still around today. People like Gary at Lightspeed, and John Alcantar with Entertainment Legends. We kind of do the same things. And there was a small core group of us originally that did it all, and now it's kind of like become a free for all. And I'm not going to talk about that, but the ones that do it the right way and represent their clients in a proper manner. There's a reason Billy has been my client for 25 years. I mean, that speaks volumes for my resume. So,
Very nice. So over the 25 years that you've done this, which is amazing to say, 25 years, you've done. Is it safe to say countless signings?
that's a good word because I would not be able to tell you how many we
That's what I wouldn't even ask. I wouldn't even dream of asking specifics. You've done a lot, but somewhere along the line, with all these amazing Star Wars actors you've already mentioned, you were able to talk to Harrison Ford,
Mhm.
and we have these signings. And I was telling you this before. You're behind these signings. We had several questions asking how did this come to be that one of the greatest actors of the generation is doing autograph signings and you're behind the scenes facilitating.
Mhm. I can tell you that part of the answer comes from the way that I act professionally around some of these people and my demeanor and that I'm a man of my word. And you know I don't know how to really explain it because Harrison was a very special circumstance for me. And but I mean I did approach him, and I had he didn't really want to do signings. It wasn't something that he was really interested in any way, shape, or form. But we met, and we actually met at the photo shoot that Annie Leibovitz did for the cover of Vanity Fair for episodes 1 through 6. I was there with Billy D and Carrie Fisher, and Peter Mayhew was there as well, and Harrison was there. And Billy introduced Harrison to me, and we sat and talked for a while. Him and Billy sat and talked for a while, and I interjected every blue moon. But when we were there, I approached him at that point and asked him about signings, and we exchanged numbers, and it was a while. I mean, it didn't happen overnight, but it was a lot of back and forth. But the the final pitch that I had done to him when he accepted it, it was for the Millennium Falcon prop replica to sign the plaques. That was actually the first signing that he did. Oh no, I'm sorry. I take that back. The actual very first signing he did was the Topps trading cards which were the 10th anniversary, the 30th anniversary. I start to lose track of things, guys, so you have to forgive me. But Harrison signed 10 of the cards for Topps, and that was the catapult. And then we did the prop replica for the Millennium Falcon, and he did his first batch of movie posters, which were all exclusive to Cool Waters. And then it kind of just went from there. When Official Picks got him because they were the licensee at the time, so they did some signings with him as well. And but it's just been something that I've stayed on his good side, for lack of better terms, and I've proven myself to him, and I make sure that everything's accounted for that he signs, and that he's paid according to our contract, and I don't default from things. So I think he admires me as a young man, and I'm not patting myself on the back. It's the feeling that I get when I'm with him. Harrison's an incredibly smart business person. He's very aware of his brand and his iconic being an iconic person. I mean, what's funny is when you meet him for the first time, he knows who he is, but he has no ego at all. But he's very aware of people being nervous around him, and so to put them at ease, he will be the first one to go up to somebody new, extend his hand to shake your hand, and he'll just say, "Hi, I'm Harrison." And all of a sudden, all your fears and all of your nerves just come down, and you're like, "Whoa, this person who I put on a pedestal is approaching me and shaking my hand, and he's introducing himself as Harrison." Like, just and so you just kind of come down, and you're like, wow, he's just a normal person like anybody else, and he's got rough hands. Those rumors that you hear about him being a carpenter back in the day are all true, and he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. He's not he doesn't I don't think he has his hands wrapped in gloves every night with aloe vera lotion. So you know but yeah, so I've had approximately a 15-year relationship with him, give or take. I started to lose track, and but anyway, and so over the years, I've spoken to him. I had spoken to him so many times about doing send-ins, and it was the one question that I got asked consistently: Derek, when is he going to do send-ins? And it's like, guys, he's never going to do it. He's just, that's what I just started telling people, because I'm like, it's never going to happen. And I don't know what finally changed his mind. We put a lot of research in front of him. We gave him reports about forgeries on eBay, and dealers hawking stuff on the street corners, or to collector shops at in Las Vegas, and all over Hollywood, and gave him Facebook trending of, like, his name comes up so many times, and the one request that comes up is, man, I wish we could meet him so I could get my thing signed. And I gave him so much. I educated him as much as I could with facts, and something must have clicked in him, and he just went, you know what, I guess I'm gonna give it a go. And when he did his first send in, I really thought that was going to be it. It was going to be a one shot. You better get it now, because it's never going to happen again. But I think he liked the way that we did things, and so we've been very lucky that he's come back twice now, and have allowed us to continue, which is really nice. So, and I try my best to make sure that the fans are getting the most out of the signing. I'll tell you, the worst thing that we did was agreeing to take pictures of him signing his stuff last time. It was the worst logistical nightmare, and I think we should talk more about that in a minute, Frank. But anyway, that's how Harrison and I got to know each other, and here we are today. So
15 years, you got to know him. He did signings initially, like you said, that you had photos, or photos were there. He signed them, and people ordered whatever you had in stock. And now, like you said, this is going to be the third time that people could send in their items to get signed.
yeah.
Especially during COVID. You showed us the picture earlier, thank you, of you and Billy doing the signing with Billy D, and you had your masks. Can you tell us a little bit about the logistics about how you make a signing like this work and keep everyone safe?
Well, that was one of the things that came up with my in-house con. And again, we had so many requests from fans going, well, why can't we send things in? Why can't we send things in? And again, it comes down to an understanding that the fans have to take a breath and step back and understand that it's a comfort level of the clientele, and it's also a logistics level for Cool Waters, and it's also an expense thing. So I'll give you a good example, okay? The first in-house con that we did featured Dave Barclay and Corey D. Williams, and a couple of other guests from Star Wars. And I got inundated with requests on why can't we mail stuff in, because other companies were doing send-ins. And I very nicely tried to explain to people that, without getting into the major part of it, because it really shouldn't be anybody's business, but the celebrities don't feel comfortable doing it. But let me explain to you even more, since we're talking about it, because maybe the fans don't really comprehend, okay? And I'm doing this in a nice way, guys. I'm not saying these things to be rude. I appreciate every fan. I appreciate everyone who sends stuff in. You're helping me as a small business stay alive, okay? But you have to understand the logistics in a send in. Just because another company agrees to do a send in, do you know how your items are being treated in that send in? Do you know if those send in items are just being mailed to the celebrity and the celebrity has to sort through everything and put it back in an envelope and send it back? You don't. And I can tell you right now that some of the send ins that are out there, that is exactly what is happening. The one thing that Cool Waters has never done in its 25-year history is do a send in where we sent the items to somebody without someone being in control of it and us being able to witness it. Okay. So when COVID hit and we were first being asked to do that, everyone's asking me, well, why can't you just send stuff to them or whatever? And it's like, guys, you don't understand. Some actors, they're older, or they're a little, nutsy because they're actors and they're more artists than detail oriented. So, we could send them their stuff and it'll get damaged or it'll get lost. So in order for us to grow in-house con and make it better where people could send stuff in, which we do now, we've done a few times, is when we have the ability to be in control of it. Some fans were asking us, well, you're mailing photos to England already for like Sarah Douglas to sign from Superman. It's like, yes, we're mailing her 8x10 photos, guys. We're not mailing her action figures and movie posters that require insurance, that require numerous packages. And fans don't get it. Like, fans think I'm the only one asking for this. You're not, guys. I have hundreds of fans asking for this. So if 200 people send in a movie poster or a toy or anything, it doesn't matter what it is, those items have to be unwrapped, marked if they're not marked. We have to find the order that it was placed with. Then it goes into a storage area until the signing. Then the signing happens. So the items have to be carried to and from the signing. Then once they're back, we have to pull all the orders again, print the pictures, certify them. Like, it just gets mailed to somebody. They open it, they send it back. And can you imagine a celebrity having 200 pieces? And some celebrities, even though they understand that things are delicate or might be worth something or they're really old and fragile, they may not be aware of it because they may be, rushing to get stuff done. All the send-ins that we've done where we're handling it, we are the ones actually handling your photos. Like that picture I just showed you of Billy D. I'm literally right there with him. I'm standing right next to him, telling him what to sign, what color to use, whatever. That's how we like to do it. And when we sent the photos to the celebrities to sign for in-house con, they would do a Zoom meeting with me so that I could go over with them, that's what you're doing with those photos and you're signing, and then they took pictures to send to us for verification purposes. So if one fan could step back and understand what actually goes into the process of sending stuff in, you guys would stop asking us. And again, it's not that I don't mind you asking, trust me, because the more requests we get for a certain celebrity, then we know, oh, we need to do a send in for that celebrity because we keep getting requested for it. But, every once in a while we get like one irate fan who's like, they get mad at us. Like, well, I don't understand why you can't do it. And it's like, you know what? we're choosing not to respect why we're saying no. And, they end up doing it through some other party. And, we're not perfect, trust me. But some of these other parties, I've heard horror stories where things come back and it was the wrong color or it got ripped or, whatever. Send-ins are a dangerous thing, guys. I mean, there's no pure formula to it. And the key is, are you sending it to someone reputable like Cool Waters and me, where we care about your items and we try to do our best? And so that's what I think I would ask of fans is like, there's a reason why we do things. So now, COVID's been horrible for all of us, literally for all of us. But for Cool Waters specifically, you have to understand this is all that we do for work. I don't have a day job at Target or an accounting job at, some accounting firm or whatever. I mean, Cool Waters is all that I do now. And so when I used to be on the road 45 weekends a year, in some of those weekends, we had 2, 3 shows at the same time. So I had staff everywhere. Not being able to go out for COVID has basically killed me. And so starting in-house con was one thing that I did to help appease the fans because they wanted something to do. The celebrities loved it because they got to talk, and because we only had 4 guests, we got to focus on those 4 guests rather than it being a bunch of other people. And now that we've gotten to a position of some of our clients feeling comfortable, we're able to do send-ins with some of the ones that live locally. So again, aside from some of our UK people, like the Knights of Ren, for example, they're all UK based. And they don't all live together, guys. There's 6 actors. They don't all live together. They all have their own separate homes. See, everyone thinks they all live together. They don't. So one of my knights has said that he will be the Cool Waters rep for the signing. And we sent all the pictures to him. And now he has to go to each person and sort it all out. And it's going to take like a month and a half to 2 months to get it all done because 2 of them are filming. One of them's on vacation. I mean, it's a big mess. And people have been waiting 6 or 7 months for them because they were supposed to go to Days of the Dead, but because of COVID, they weren't able to come. So it's been a mess. But, we didn't send movie posters and stuff to the Knights because it becomes too much of a hassle and it becomes too much of a risk factor for your collectibles. But for people that live here in Los Angeles, like Dave Barclay, like Matt Sloan, like Nalini Krishan, like Harrison Ellenshaw, like Billy D. Williams, like Mark Capri, like Harrison Ford, we were able to negotiate with them on a comfort level to be able to do the signings in my backyard with masks, outside. Like Billy was supposed to be here yesterday. Yesterday, we had a record low temperature of 68 degrees for Los Angeles. You guys are probably all going, man, I'd go swimming in that. To people that live in LA, 68 degrees is cold. On top of that, where I happen to live, we live in a wind tunnel, and the wind was so bad yesterday. We would have had fans' items in the trees. So I had to call Billy in the morning, cancel it, and tell him to come today. So he did it today. Today was 78 degrees and no wind. So there you go. So when we move forward to do these other signings with Dave and Matt and the people I just mentioned, we're doing it the same way. We're doing it in my backyard. It's a secure location. My house is fenced in. We're hoping that day, because we've advertised the date and we can't really change it, we're hoping it's not going to be windy. And if it's cold, you're going to see the celebrities bundled up because we're telling them to bring basically winter coats just in case. But again, fans don't understand that when we're doing send-ins, we're doing it in that manner where we're on hand and it's at the comfort level of the celebrity. It is the celebrity's choice. Some of our celebrities said, no, Derek, we don't want to come to your house. We don't care that we're wearing masks. We don't care that you don't go out. We don't want to leave our house. We're afraid of COVID-19. So we have some local celebrities here in LA that will not do send-ins. And I apologize to the fans that want it. We just need to get through this, guys. And then, we'll be able to do send-ins like we used to. Frank, have I answered your question? I have no idea.
You absolutely have, Derek.
Okay.
Absolutely. And it's great to hear directly from people like you who can, like you said, maybe the collectors and the fans don't know, but when people like you take the time to explain it, it really does help for us to see the bigger picture, and being able to see the bigger picture makes all the difference.
Good.
You mentioned that someone from Cool Waters is there and witnessing the signings. You have a policy of requiring COA and stickers on autographs. How did that policy come come about? What's the reasoning behind that?
The main reason is because there's a law here in California where it's actually required, and a lot of people don't realize that. I believe it was Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mark Hamill a few years back, because their autographs were being sold at some companies in Las Vegas, like Field of Dreams, and they were either forged and or they were real, gotten on a red carpet, and the celebrity was never paid for it. And yet, Field of Dreams is charging $1,000 for it. It kind of became, okay, wait a minute, where's the copyright to that? Where is the branding rights to that? How is that fair? So, and forgeries was a big thing. I mean, you wouldn't believe forgery. Basically everything on eBay, guys, is fake. I mean, not everything. I mean, maybe 90%. And I see so many fans get taken advantage of on that. So, Schwarzenegger and Hamill and a couple of other celebrities started fighting, and they got a law passed in LA, in California, and it basically requires anyone that is acting as a vendor, such as myself, has to back the piece, and it needs to be accompanied with a certificate. So originally, Cool Waters had its own certificates of authenticity, which a lot of the people who know us know. It was a card with a matching serial number hologram. And over the years, I've heard, every company out there, JSA and Beckett and all the other ones. I mean, there's not a lot, but all of them. We've heard, a lot. And so we did some research, and I consider myself a good acquaintance of Steve Grad, and I had several meetings with him regarding, Beckett and how it works. And so we decided to sign an agreement with Beckett that all of our autographs would be, moving from the contract forward. That was another question we got, was how come autographs that we have in stock from last year before we had our Beckett COA, how come it doesn't have a Beckett certificate? Because it came before the Beckett agreement, guys. So we can only certify things moving forward. But anyway, I struck a deal with them, and I chose them because of their resume and because of their honor and because of their background, and I felt that they were really good. So, we want to make sure that we are never blamed for something being faked or forged. And so we're following California state law that everything goes out, with the certificate. And because we've chosen Beckett, Beckett has rules and regulations that we have to follow on how to sticker things. And trust me, we made mistakes when we started with them. One of the mistakes we made, which Beckett was very, they were very gracious about it, but they're like, moving forward, you've got to do it this way, where the Funko Pops. And the Funko Pops, we were certifying them either on the bottom of the box or on the bottom right of the box, so that it would show on the front. And we get a lot of fans who cop attitude. And again, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm using this as an example for my discussion today, so don't take offense to it, guys. We have a lot of fans who will cop an attitude going, well, you put the sticker in the wrong place, or we don't want it here, we don't want it there. It's like, guys, we meet thousands of fans at conventions, and a lot of the fans that we meet want the certificates, and they always want it in the same location. So for me and my staff, a lot of it becomes habit. Everyone wants it in the same place. We have learned over time, and we've tried really hard, guys, to listen and ask for sticker placement. And we do. And a lot of people will attest to that. Do we make mistakes? Yes, we do. I'm sorry about that, but look at it this way. It's a Beckett sticker, and it's for your protection. It's for whether you are insuring your collection or whether you're leaving your collection to someone when they die, whatever. If the sticker is in some place that it wasn't supposed to be, it wasn't done maliciously, but we try to pay attention to sticker placement. Now, back to the Pops. When we were stickering them on the bottom, of course, Beckett monitors everything. This is why they're so great, guys. They monitor eBay. They monitor our own website, okay? And they were noticing that some pictures of stuff that we had authenticated, and we only authenticate clients that we work with, by the way, actors that we work with. They sent us a very nice email going, Derek, we see that you've put the sticker on the bottom of the box or whatever. They require the sticker to be on the part of the box that was signed. So if the cardboard was signed, the sticker has to be on the cardboard. If the bubble or the plastic window was signed, do I have a pop here? No. Then it has to be on the window. So then what we started doing was like we thought we were following directions, and it was like, okay, oh yeah, well those ones are not certified though. But I was trying to find one that we did today with Billy. Um, I'll see if I can find one for you guys in a minute. But anyway, so Beckett, then came back and said to us, look, you don't have to sticker them on the front if someone doesn't want it. If they request it to be on the side of the window, you're welcome to do that as long as it's on the window. Because I guess there was something where people were pulling the windows off the box and putting them on something else. And I didn't quite understand what Beckett said was being done with those, but it doesn't matter. We signed an agreement with Beckett, and Beckett said sticker has to be on the plastic or on the part that's signed, make it happen. So, we're following rules and regulations for a contract that we've signed. At the same time, we're still trying to please the fans. So, this signing that we just did with Billy, we have everybody's order is printed out, and everybody's order, if they put something in the comment section, like this guy said, I want it in blue, I want him to write Lando, and the sticker wants it on the back because it's a photo. It can go on the back. That's fine. It doesn't have to go on the front. But just like this person wrote that, we have other people that write, we want the sticker on the front. Some people like the sticker on the front because when they frame it and the certificate shows, they feel that there is a greater truth to that being a real sticker. To me, it doesn't matter. It's the fan's item, and we do our best, guys. We do. But look, sometimes people don't write stuff in the comments section on the orders. And a lot of people put Post-it notes on their items, and the Post-it notes fall off, and we don't know where to sticker it. So we make the best educated decision on where to put that sticker. None of it's malicious, and we're sorry if we get it wrong. But we have rules that we follow with Beckett because we have signed a contract with them, and we're also following California law when it comes to certifying things. It's all done for your protection, guys. It's not done to ruin anything at all. So, don't get mad at us. We appreciate your business, and we appreciate your collectibles. I mean, look, if you look around me, I have collectibles all in my office. I have things up here from when I was a kid, 7 years old. It's just a Princess Leia shampoo bottle. I have newer things down here that, were just released a couple years ago from Gentle Giants. Everything, a lot of stuff in my office has been signed by our clients. And I get it. I get that your items are cherished and that they are valuable and that you want things a certain way. But at the same time, if we happen to make a mistake, don't kill us over it. You can be nice. You can make us a comment. We listen to all the comments that come in. Okay, we do. And I go over it with my staff. Every time we go to a convention, we have a little meeting, and it's like updates on what we're supposed to do. Guys, you've got to make sure you're doing this, you're asking this, so on and so forth. So we do listen. So, just don't get angry with us, and we will do our best to accommodate everything that you guys ask of us.
Thank you, Derek. You address when people might get upset, or if things aren't signed exactly the way they want it. What would you say to the collector? And I know you've heard this a million times, and I have as well, as recently as just a couple of days ago, where a friend says to me, Frank, I have this poster signed by just about anybody you could want on a Star Wars poster. They're, like you said, their cherished possession. But the thought of that piece leaving their home to go in the mail, to travel to California, and all that goes into that, it gives them agita. It gives them, they're worried. Yeah. And they say, I want Harrison Ford on this piece. It will be complete with Harrison Ford, but I'm really nervous about sending this across country to get it signed. What would you do to help that person to feel comfortable? Or what advice would you give them? Or what advice have you given people in that situation? Because I know you get this all the time.
Right. Well, look, guys, I can't control FedEx, the United States Postal Service, DHL, UPS, and internationally, whatever, the British Post, whatever country you live in, whatever your delivery method is, okay? We have no control over what they do. And trust me, guys, even with this signing we just did with Billy, we got boxes that were crushed. And so we're going to replace those boxes. We like to try to use the same packing material to send stuff back out, but sometimes we can't because the box has been crushed. We had one person whose item didn't arrive, and we emailed them. We said, where is it? They tracked it. They don't know, it's gone. I mean, it happens. So is it a risk to send your stuff in? 100%. Of course it is. Am I going to lie to anybody watching? No. It's a risk, but the risk is minimal. And if it's something, especially like Harrison Ford, who's never going to go to a convention, and the only way you're going to meet him is if you happen to go to a red carpet event that he's at, or go to some place where he's having lunch or something. I mean, you can, he's very nice. He'll sign on the street, but to be in a controlled environment where he's sitting down and he's signing it in the pen color you want, the placement you want, it's not going to happen. So the risk is that you're taking is, do you send it to us and let him sign it and get it done? Or do you keep the item at home and just look at it every day going, oh, it's incomplete. Oh, it's incomplete. So it is up to you. We don't force anybody to mail anything in. We recommend that you do it for something like that because it is rare that he's going to keep doing this. And if you're a completist and you've got to have it, we're really the only way you can get it done. What I would recommend is making sure that you send it securely. Poster tubes get crushed all the time. I almost think the post office does it on purpose, to be perfectly honest with you, but they claim that they don't. So what I've told people is double, put it in, double bag it or double box it. So put it in a tube and then put a tube in a tube, or invest a little bit of money. Go to Home Depot, get some PVC pipe the length of your poster. And we've had people do this. It's like getting a bomb in the mail. I mean, these things are indestructible, and they look like bombs when they come because they've got caps on the end. But the poster inside, nothing's going to crush this poster. And so that's the thing, right? If you're going to send it, be secure about it. Choose your shipping method carefully. The biggest thing that we hear all the time is, why does it cost so much to ship stuff? Well, I don't know. I don't make up the prices, guys. The UPS and FedEx and all of them do. That is how they make their money. But if it costs $100 to ship something because you're overnighting it and you're insuring it, and it's for something that is so costly, isn't it worth the extra $100 to ship it the right way rather than shipping it the cheapest way? And trust me, guys, we get stuff the cheapest way. I have stuff for this Billy D signing. Pictures that were sent in an envelope with no cardboard, and they wrote "do not bend" on it. But what do you think happened to it? It got bent. We still had it signed. We're shipping it back with cardboard. And if someone didn't have a plastic sleeve, we're adding a plastic sleeve as well. But how you ship it is, you're taking on some of that risk, the way that you ship it. So be smart about it. I personally like FedEx. Now, I'm not endorsing them. I don't get any feedback from them, nothing. The reason I like FedEx is because I've used them all, guys. I've used the United States Postal Service, which in my opinion is the worst. I've used DHL. I've used UPS. FedEx, over time, has been the one company that has worked with us when we got damages, and they sent us a replacement check for the insurance that we paid. And if we didn't pay insurance, they've at least helped replace the item in some way. Not all the time, guys. Now, this is not what I'm saying. It's not a blanket explanation. I'm just saying they've proven themselves. There have been other times where I've gotten into arguments with FedEx and they don't care, and the fan's out the item or I'm out the item. Okay. But they've proven to be the easiest to deal with, as well as with insurance. I do know that the United States Postal Service doesn't value autographs as an insurable product. So if you mail us a poster that's worth $10,000 because it has 500 signatures on it and half of them are dead, the post office doesn't care. The post office looks at the value of the poster itself. And if they can go on eBay and find that same poster for $15, that's what they're going to pay you for the insurance. It doesn't matter that you insured it for 10 grand and that you paid the insurance for 10 grand, because the insurance is based on how much you claim the item is, right? They look at it as replacement. And I know fans that have gone back to the post office and have fought with them and said, no, I can show receipts from conventions I've been to where I've paid for these autographs, and those autographs have to be replaced. And then the post office, if the person is still alive, will go, okay, we'll pay you the $20 for that signature as well, or whatever. But the overall perceived value, it's a joke. So I'm, again, being as transparent as I can, guys. And I don't know how DHL works, and I don't know how UPS works with that type of stuff. But unfortunately, they don't look at autographs as being a tangible thing. And so it is, again, what I said earlier, it's a risk, but it's a risk that I think, not just because I want to be paid and make money, guys. No, as a fan, I would take the risk. I would send something in if it meant that much to me, but I would do it and make sure that my item was secure and that it was insured. So, and trust me, when it gets here, once it's in our possession, again, accidents happen. Okay, we're not perfect. We might drop something. It might, our arm might brush up against it, and a little rip happens. I mean, we've made mistakes. 25 years, it's going to happen. But overall, we are very delicate. We handle everything as delicately as we can. We don't rush the shipping process. We do things one at a time. We make sure that we handle it with care. Okay, the celebrities will technically, especially if we're present with them, they handle it with care. Today we're unrolling posters for Billy, and I would tell him, Billy, just sit back a little bit in your chair so I can put the poster over the lip of the table so that you can come back up to sign it. These are things that I pay attention to, guys, and I do it at conventions as well. And Frank, I'm sure you've seen me do it, and I've had fans get mad at me. And let me tell you, this is going to be my moment to tell you guys to stop doing that. And this might be me having a little bit of attitude, okay? Fans get mad at me when I take their items, especially with our older clients like Billy D. We used to do it with Eric Bowersfeld. Fans think that we're going to damage their items in some way. We are not. And there is a method to our madness. There is a reason why we are doing it, okay? Sometimes the celebrities are not aware of their surroundings. There are flashes going off in their faces. The person is standing in front of them asking questions. Their cell phone's going off. They're not focusing, okay? Plus, you don't know what it's like sitting at these tables at conventions. Sometimes these conventions, they've got the tablecloths, and the tablecloths are hitting their legs, and their legs get stuck or cramped and they want to move, or they try to do a stretch. I mean, you name it. The celebrity is not always aware of what's happening. So if your item's in front of them and they bump it in some way and damage it, what's going to happen? You're going to get mad, and you're going to get mad at the celebrity. So when I'm taking something from a fan at a convention, there is a reason for it. I'm taking it, one, because I'm very methodical with how I do things, and I only line up so many things to be signed in a row, and I make everybody else wait in line until it's their turn to come up and pay and choose what they want. When it comes to the item being signed, I make sure that I unroll it if it's a poster. Now, here's the thing. Billy is aware of his posters. He knows where he is on the poster. I'm looking for, did someone already sign in his spot? If they did, I move it to his second choice that I already know, okay? If it's not already signed, I put it down in front of him. Now, here's the thing. While he's doing that, he's not reading notes. Most of the celebrities don't stop and read notes. So the rep, like me, is sitting there to whisper in their ear. You're going to use a black pen. You're going to sign to Joe or to Sam, or you're not signing it to somebody. You're signing just your name and character, okay? Then we're very careful with how we roll it. I want the posters to be rolled very evenly and flat. I've had celebrities accidentally, the poster rolls back up onto the table, and while they're signing, their arm crushes down and creates a fold in the poster. Guys, it happens, okay? But if you let us control it and you're not touching, you'll be safe. I've had other people who are so afraid that something's going to go wrong that they keep touching the poster, and they themselves have ripped it. Not us, not the celebrity, the fan. And then we're sitting there going, oh my God, what do we do? There's nothing we can do, guys. We are very careful. We have a reason for why we do things. Here's something else that a lot of people don't understand and they get mad at. Some of our older clients, they start to forget things. You have to remember, guys, and I'm saying this as the manager being realistic, not the fan like you who's listening and going, it's my favorite movie of all time, okay? We can repeat the lines of the movie till there's no tomorrow. We can sit in our bathtubs. We can sit in our cars. We can wake up from having dreams and we've regurgitated the lines 1,000 times. The actors did the job 30 years ago. It was a job. That's it. It was a paying gig. That's it. They don't all remember their lines, guys. They just don't. I know you want them to. And trust me, even me as a fan, sometimes I'm like, you don't remember that line? It was like the most iconic line in the movie. They don't remember, guys. It was a job. Think about it. Everybody here listening right now, you all have jobs, right? Do you remember what you did last Monday when your boss came into the office and asked you to file some piece of paperwork? Of course you don't, because you probably file a million pieces of paperwork every day. Or if you work at a bakery, do you make the dough exactly the same way every day? No, every once in a while, a little bit more sugar goes in and the dough rises a little bit more, right? It's the same thing, guys. So sometimes when we're asking you to let us talk to the celebrity, it's because the celebrity gets confused. So this is why, and people get so mad at me, this is why we won't let Billy D sign quotes anymore, because he can't remember. And when he's right, I'm not saying he's losing it, guys. He doesn't have dementia or anything. He can't remember as easily as you have in the past. And once he's writing it, if he makes a mistake, and we've had it happen, the line is ruined and the poster is ruined. And I've had fans get mad. Eric Bowersfeld, the voice of Admiral Akbar, that was another one. People used to try to talk to him when he was signing. And you know what he did? He signed whatever it is that they were talking to him about. And we would try to tell fans politely, don't talk, let him sign. But some fans got so agitated that we weren't going to tell him something. And they went, no, 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 we really want you to sign right here in this space, this line. And Eric would actually write, no, 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 we. And then all of a sudden be like, no, Eric, stop writing, stop writing. You don't get it, guys. There's a reason. So please be patient with us and please understand there is a reason for everything that we do. Okay? And it's not to be jerks. It's not to be difficult. It's not to be mean. It is to handle your prized possessions in a way that you're going to be happy with. And I'm going to end that on one other note, guys. That section of it. Let me be clear. When you guys ask for a specific color, we've been doing this long enough. We know what colors look good. And sometimes we've had it happen. Frank, we've had people go, no, I want it in silver and I want it right here. And then the celebrity goes, okay. And we've tried to talk them out of it. We're like, no, trust us. Black will look better there, or gold will look better over here, whatever. They're like, no, no, no. I want silver and I want it here and that's it. Okay. They sign it in silver and then you see their face just drop and sheer disappointment. And yep. They pick it up and they're looking at it and you can tell they're not happy with the way it looks. And we're like, we're sorry, we tried to tell you. Or sometimes they just walk away. You don't even have a chance. Guys, trust us. I know you've got a poster that everyone else is signed in silver. I get it. So you want yours signed in silver? That's fine. But there's sometimes people bring new stuff to us. Or pops. Pops is a big one. Guys, let me educate you on something, okay? Do not have pops signed in a Sharpie. The plastic window is made of plastic and it has an oily film on it. Over time, your Sharpie will fade into the plastic. It's a chemical thing. Use paint pens. Not only that, the Sharpies don't look as good. The paint pens pop and they're so bright and vibrant. And let me say something else. Don't use gold and silver because they fade into the plastic. So even though they're shiny, they don't look good. You have to turn it to make it look good. Sign it in a blue or a red or a yellow or an orange, and then they look incredibly vibrant. And you can see them. Right here. There's one signed by. This is signed by Dennis Lawson, right? I don't know if it shows on the screen, but the orange just pops. It's vibrant. It's there. And the paint pen won't come off the plastic. But if you've got it signed in a blue or a black, trust me, it doesn't look good. And look, here's the thing. It is your item. And if you insist on having it signed in a certain color in a certain place, we are not going to deny you. It's your item. Absolutely. But trust, especially me, if you see me at a convention, some of my staff may not be as involved in it or whatever, but because I'm a fan and because I have my own stuff that I enjoy, trust me, guys, I know. And I'm looking out for you. I want you to take that pop home or that poster home and go, oh, it looks so good. And not look at it and go, oh my God, I spent $50 on that and it looks horrible. So, anyway, Frank, again, you got to tell me to shut up because I'll just keep talking.
This is great. Derek, we have a lot of people with us right now that love the pop. So that was great that you talked about it. What over the years have you? Is there? What would you say the percentage is of send-ins that are pops compared to posters, 8x10s, 11x14s? Is it? Has it? Is it a do you get a lot of pop send-ins?
Yeah, we do. Posters is still number one. Movie posters are still like, I think, the primary send in because it's the completest. They want to have everybody's signature. But yeah, pops have certainly grown over time, and we see a lot of them, uh, especially at conventions too. Which is why we actually carry pops now. We got an account with Funko, and we have a good deal with them. So for the clients that have pops, we actually offer pops at conventions now of most of our clients, and we love them. We've got pops. Any pop that a client is any client that has a pop that's made of them, we have them hanging here in our office. So, and they're adorable. I think Funko nailed it with those little figurines, and I know a lot of people like them. So, and some of them are worth big banks because they're a chase or they were rare or they were limited edition or whatever. So, I think I've got a Indiana Jones one that Harrison signed, and that was a limited. And yeah, everyone's probably looking at me going, what is Derek doing? He's losing it. But no, I'm actually looking here. I'll lift up my computer and show you guys. We've got pops signed by a lot of people's. So like we have them all up on the top of the office, and people come in and they're just like, oh my God. And then it goes around to the other, all above the window, which is probably backlit and you can't see it, but they're there. So yeah, we have, I don't know, what was the question? Oh, yeah, posters is still number one, but yeah, there's a lot of pops that get sent in.
We're still getting a lot of great questions coming in. I'm trying to keep up with some of them, but we should, before we start to answer specific questions about the Harrison Ford send in, we should talk details
Yeah,
and pricing and how this works. So somebody wants to send in an item, what are they going to do, Derek? And what's the
right.
pricing?
Yeah, no problem. So we have a dedicated website called celebritysendins.com. And that is a website that was created by me with my business partner, Kevin at KLF Sports, who is my partner on this deal. And part of the reason he's my partner is because we vetted him. He takes a lot of pride in the autographs world and what he does. And I really liked the way that he focused on things. And, he handles things really nicely at signings as well. And he's very friendly with the celebrities. So he's a nice guy. And so I told him if we were going to do this thing with Harrison, we needed to do a dedicated website because there was so much information that needed to be known. And our own website has, all the other clients on it and so much other information. It was just easier to streamline it. And the website was also designed because Kevin and I have plans to offer other clients, not only of my own, but other people that we've been approaching. So, and some of you have already seen it. Like he did a Ray Liotta signing. Cool Waters had nothing to do with that. It was done through the Celebrity Send-ins platform, but that was all Kevin. And I know that he's done Daisy and Adam as well, Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver. And so we're doing Harrison, and we do have some others coming up. But the thing is, that platform allows us only to have just a very small handful of people that are live on the site at that time. And that way, the frequently asked questions can be reviewed, your waiver can be reviewed easily, and it's streamlined to the order form. So with Harrison, it's the same thing. You go to celebritysendins.com and you click on Harrison's picture, and then there's 2 steps before you get to the order page. And again, this is something else that aggravates people. It's like, why do we have to read all this? Part of the reason we have the frequently asked questions first and that you have to click continue, that you've read them, is because pretty much any question that you have is actually answered in those frequently asked questions. So instead of emailing me or hounding me on Facebook, and by the way, guys, I'm not really on Facebook, it's my assistant, and my assistant cannot answer questions. So usually he'll tell me once a week, Derek, you need to go on Facebook yourself and actually do this. But guys, I'm not tech savvy. I'm usually pretty good with the VCR and stuff, but when it comes to Facebook, I get so lost and I get so stressed up because there's a comment and there's a message and there's a live message you can do and then there's a post and I can't handle it. So I've got an assistant that handles all of that stuff for me, but he's not authorized to answer some questions. So he will typically give our email address and people can email us directly. But that being said, when you're on celebrity send-ins, you read through the frequently asked questions, you hit continue, and then there's a waiver that you need to agree to. And the way it's a basic waiver. It's just that you understand the terms and conditions and that, we can't guarantee your product, in the shipping and all of that. Then after you agree to that, then you come to the order page, which is where you choose what you're having signed and the price category that it's in and how many you're doing. And then you go to the checkout page, which is where you pay. And the most important thing for everyone to remember out there is when you package up your item, you need to make sure that you put your order number on the box, because we don't open all the boxes the day they arrive. We only wait till about a week before the signing to open everything. And that's because, for safety's sake, we don't want everything just being screwed around the office or the storage unit or someplace else where something can happen to it. If it's kept in its package until the 11th hour, it's safer for your stuff. So we open everything at the end, but we don't guarantee this, but I've been trying my best. Again, I'm one person. I've been trying my best to notify people when their boxes arrive. That's why you need to have your order number on it, because we're not opening stuff to see if your receipt's inside or anything like that. So if your order number's on the box, I've been trying my best to email people saying, hey, order number 12345 has arrived and it's in our possession. And yeah, so Frank, what was the question?
Well, that was probably how are they going to order?
Oh,
But
yeah.
and so that, yep.
Right. And then make sure when you send your stuff in, you've got to label it. Guys, again, everyone thinks they're the only one mailing something in, okay? You are not the only person sending something in. You, that one guy right now who thinks I'm actually talking to him or her, you, that one person. No. We have hundreds, if not thousands of people sending stuff in, okay? So if your item's not labeled, what do you think's going to happen to it? It'll still get signed, but it's going to wait till the very end to get shipped out until we can figure out by process of elimination who it actually belongs to, okay? And I've had this happen. Almost every signing we've had people not label their stuff. So one of the things in that frequently asked question and waiver section does say that if you don't label your stuff properly, you grant Cool Water's permission to label it as we see fit. Now, here's the thing. We're not going to ruin your items, guys. Don't panic. But we are going to make sure that it is labeled in a way that we know that it will be tracked and not fall off. What we typically use is painter's tape, because painter's tape won't damage, it peels easily. But if it's something delicate, we won't use painter's tape. We label it in some other way. The key is label it. Post-its do fall off, so try to use name brand Post-its, the actual Post-it notes. Don't use generic brand Post-it notes. The other thing about the generic brand Post-it notes, guys, some of them, they're actually extra sticky. So yeah, they're not going to fall off, but they also don't come off very easily and they leave tacky stuff on your poster. So use the actual Post-it brand. I think Mead makes them, or Scotch Tape. I'm not sure who makes Post-it, but use a real Post-it note or use blue painter's tape. I mean, it really is, it's easy, but make sure that your items are labeled with your last name and your order number. That's really all we need. Now, I appreciate the fans who go out of their way. They put their name, their address, their order number, their phone number, their email on the back of their item or whatever. I love that, because if something goes wrong, then everything's there and I don't have to look it up on the computer. But at least your last name and your order number, then we know who it belongs to, because these are your cherished possessions, guys, and we want to get it back to you. But I do find it shocking that some people will mail posters to us that, literally have everyone on it but this one person we're hosting, and they haven't labeled their item. It's like, okay, That's fine. I don't mind putting it on my wall if I get stuck with it, I'll tell you that. So yeah, label your item. And then once you send it out, as I said, we get it, we'll open it about a week before the actual signing, about 5 days before the actual signing. We'll start separating everything by color. We'll put all the black pens together, all the blue pens together, all the deco paints together, things like that. And then, Guy, I know a lot of questions people were saying, like, are you delicate? Do you take your time with the stuff? Because some posters, they want deco pens to be used, and deco pens, they don't dry fast. They suck. I hate it. But they look amazing on the posters. So yes, we will use deco pens if we are asked to. We prefer Sharpies because they do dry quicker. But we do put them to the side at the signing. The signing is not super rushed. It does go pretty quick. Harrison, he's pretty fast. But I will tell you this, the last time we did a signing with him, and he actually was stopping to read some of the Post-its. And a couple times he actually caught us and went, guys, you told me this was a silver, but this Post-it says black. Again, we make mistakes, right? But we try to pay attention to it as well when we're at the signing. And if we notice that a color is wrong, we'll stop the signer and say, whoa, 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 wrong color, let's switch pens. So, we do try to make sure that the color you've requested is done, the location that it's requested is done. And, I will tell you guys, if a Post-it falls off and we don't know what color you've requested or where you want it, we choose the best possible looking location and we choose the best possible color. And again, that's all with us trying to treat your items with the respect and care. So yeah, and then once it's signed, the long process, especially with the bigger signings like Harrison, like, that's the other thing, guys. Everyone says, okay, the signing is on such and such a date. Great. That means I'm going to have my item tomorrow, right? No, hello guys. It takes time to send stuff back. Imagine if we had 1,000 items in front of us. We have to certify 1,000 items. We have to find the actual paper order that goes with the item. We have to go back and find the box that belongs to that item. We need to carefully wrap that item back up in that box. We then need to go to the printer, print out a shipping label. These things don't go like this. It takes time. And we don't want to rush because then accidents happen. So you guys need to remain very patient and know that we will get your item back to you. It may take us some time, but it's better to have it done the right way and shipped back the right way so that you're happy when you get it. And again, I have to preface every time I say that, accidents happen, guys, okay? Something could happen, something could get damaged, or it's signed in the wrong color, but none of it's malicious. We are not getting somebody's poster and we recognize the name as being a pain in the butt customer and they go, oh, we're going to rip this one. No. We don't do that, guys. We appreciate you, your collections, your business, your passion, and we do what we can to treat them with respect.
Thank you, Derek. It's great. All right, so they have their item ready to go. They've labeled it, and it's time to pay. So you have some pricing groupings that you have set up for what people might send in. So can you talk about those price points?
Yeah, well, you're asking me to actually do something that I'm gonna have to get online for because I don't actually know.
I'll pull it up too.
Once we get everything listed, I kind of don't remember what it all says. But so let me go to celebritysendins.com. Let me click on Harrison's picture. Let me agree to the terms and conditions in my frequently asked questions. Yes, I agree. Okay, so yeah, we have 4 sections. They start at $875 and then it goes up from there, and it's just based on what you're having signed. So the first one is something that no one else has signed, and it's like a single item, like an 8x10 or a pop or a trading card. And then section 2, it's pictures and action figures and cards that may be signed by other people. And then it's larger items, and then it's props and movie posters. So again, and then I think there's right here, there's you can pay to have your item personalized as well. So you add to the cart whatever you want, and then when you how do I go back to Zoom so I can see you guys? Yeah. So then once you add it to your cart and you pay, and then you ship your items out and we get it, and you're good to go. So, the pricing structure, I can't really talk too much about it, because I know a lot of people are complaining about the price, and all I can say is guys, do me a favor. If you don't like the price, then don't be part of the signing. It's as simple as that. We don't need people trolling us on the internet, downing us. We the key with every signing that we do, every event that we do, we pay our celebrities. We're not getting this stuff for free, and we're here to make a profit as well and to survive. And we have to pay contractually what we've agreed to every celebrity. It's not just Harrison, it's every celebrity. And a lot of thought went into, how we were going to price things, and we tried to be fair and to make it, you know, a value, and not overprice it there. Trust me, I'll tell you this. My business partner on the deal, Kevin, he actually wanted the movie posters, which is the highest priced item. He wanted it to be more guys. I actually stopped him from doing that. Okay. So, there is a limit on what it is. But the key is the same way that, Target prices their stuff at what they price it at, or the same way that Amazon prices their stuff at what they price it at, right? Autographs are a very unique collectible. They can be worth a lot of money. They can add a great deal of value to your possessions. I've heard of people who have sold their collections and put a down payment on their house. I mean, trust me, there is a value there. So what we ask is, if the price is not right for you, then you simply just don't buy. But don't go bad mouthing us on the internet about it. It's neither here nor there. We have a lot of fans that feel that we are fairly priced on everybody, not just Harrison or Billy D, because they're higher priced, on other celebrities as well. I mean, we try, one of the things I did on In-House Con, which we got some nice reviews on, which I really appreciate. And a lot of fans picked up on it, even though a couple of times I mentioned it, but it didn't get really pushed out there. In-House Con, we actually charge the same price for autographs as we do at conventions. That was something that we did on purpose, because the whole idea was it was a convention online. So you pay the same price that you did at the event. So, we try our best. But again, guys, if the price doesn't work for you, then the signing doesn't work for you. So just move on. There's going to be a lot of other signings coming up with a lot of other celebrities that I'm sure you all adore. And maybe you can afford those ones and maybe you can't. It is what it is. So is that okay of an answer, Frank?
Oh no, I want to respect that $875 is a lot of money. No matter I won't say no matter who you are. I'm sure there's a lot of people there that could drop that and not think twice. I'm not one of them. But I think what you said about something can be expensive and fair. And this is Harrison Ford. Some of the people that we have with us, especially in our celebration group, hello, everyone who's with us from the Star Wars celebration group, our Tuesday crew, maybe they've only picked up autographs from Celebration, where the most they're going to see is maybe $250, $300. So to see 875 is probably a lot to them. But this, like I think you said it very well. This is Harrison Ford. This is Han Solo. This is Indiana Jones. And if you're looking for his autograph, I think it's not going to be a $300 autograph. It's just that's not the world. That's just not reality. I will say the first one that you did, again, as the owner of Star Wars Autograph News and doing this for a long time, I was to be honest, I was shocked that 875 was the lowest price point. I expected it to be higher, so I was pleased to see that. And
Well,
again,
that was
that's
something.
not a lot of money, but it is a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. And your point is right, because if you look at some of the previous signings that happened before the send-ins, stuff that I did or that Official Picks did, it was about $1,000 for like an 8x10 or whatever. So that was again something that Kevin and I went back and forth on a lot. And it was something, again, based on the expenses that we have in having to pay him and to do the shipping and to pay our staff. There was a lot, and so we talked about how low could we make that one item to be low, and we feel that it's fair. We feel that it's fair. And for those of you that feel that it's fair and participate, we thank you. And for those of you who don't, again, it's nothing's malicious. We understand that it isn't for everybody, and we understand that. So
Put it this way, I haven't been able to do a send-in, but I still think it's a fair price. Now, Derek, we've had a lot of questions over the last hour or so about specifics about the signing. So I want to see what we can get from the people that are with us. And I apologize, I'm seeing the questions come up, but there was a specific question about a 16 by 20 image. And Jeff, if you're still with us, or Spencer, and you caught who asked that question, I'd like to bring them on so they could ask Derek that question about the 16 by 20 sized image and how they recommend, how Derek recommends it sent in. If not, I think I caught it. Is that person still with us?
I'm not seeing that question. Maybe somebody asked you directly.
Okay, it was Kyle.
Yeah, it's online. I'll pull that up for you. Just give me one. Why don't you ask another question while I'm looking for it? It was on your page.
No, not that. That I have that one too, but this one was from Kyle. So Derek, Kyle asked if he's going to send in a 16 by 20. Should he send it in flat or should he send it in rolled?
Oh, yeah. Really, it's dealer's choice on that. For us, flat does actually work better because, especially during the signing, when it starts to curl and it curls in on itself, it is more difficult. But, it's not going to be like the end all be all if you flat. But if you're literally asking Derek, how do you want it? Flat would be so much better for us and for Harrison.
Great. All right, Kyle. So
Good answer.
Your answer. We have a question on Facebook from Brett. He asks, why is there an extra charge for a folded poster? Because you can send an item in folded and ready to go. The size is basically 11 by 14, 11 by 17. So why is it more expensive for a folded item? Spencer, am I reading that correctly?
Yeah, pretty much. It's why is it more expensive for an item that's more awkward to deal with when you have to unfold it than it would be for a flat item?
The easiest way that I can answer that, and again, I can't get into our contractual obligations and dealings, but part of the price structure is based on the value of the item. So a movie poster is worth far more money than a 16 by 20 or 11 by 14 photograph. So if it's folded, it doesn't matter. It's the item. And I say that in the most sincere way. I'm not trying to be rude at all. I'm just trying to answer the question as honestly as I can.
Derek, would that be so you would give if somebody asks you why is it more money to have something signed that's already been signed by another actor?
It would probably be about the same answer, give or take. Yeah.
All right. Jeff, Spencer, do we have other questions that we saw in the chat?
Mr. Notman had a question, but he wanted to ask it in person if that's possible.
Is John up?
Yeah, bring him on in.
Hey, Derek. Hi, Derek. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just can't see you.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, there you are. Hi, John. Or Jonathan.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, thanks. Wonderful information. Thank you. So I've actually used the Care Cool Waters celebrity send-ins before. I have nothing but wonderful things to say about the service. You guys really handled everything professionally, on time. I sent in, I think, for the Adam Driver signing, and it was handled professionally. So I can't say enough about you guys. And if anybody's thinking about, sending something in to Derek and his team or Kevin and his team, I would highly recommend them. They're great. I do have a question for you though. So I've met you actually twice at Orlando 2017 and Chicago 2019 with my wife. You were very gracious. You chatted to us at length and handled everything at the convention as you described earlier on perfectly. And we made sure that Billy D signed our stuff exactly where it should be signed and the right colors, etc. But my question is this: it's slightly different. Having been on the convention circuit for a number of years and experienced different, situations and different celebrities, etc., can you tell us a little bit more about an amusing thing that happened or an unusual thing that happened to you that you have a fond memory about?
Something that happened to me, like personally at an event.
Yeah.
Sure. There's always one that springs to mind. I've told the story before because it's hilarious. I used to rep Carrie Fisher, and Carrie was one of those people. She kind of just did whatever she wanted to do. There wasn't really putting a leash on her or anything, but that was part of her charm. And we were in London. I think it was Milton Keynes, and the signing was in a mall. That's where Jason Joyner of Showmasters had that show. It was out in Milton Keynes at a mall. And Carrie was exhausted. And she kept saying, Derek, I want to go back to the hotel and take a nap. And I'm like, well, you can't. The hotel's too far away. Because she was, I think at that show, she was actually staying in downtown London proper. So it's quite of a drive. And she's like, well, can I just go back to your hotel? And I'm like, well, no, I'm actually staying next to you. Normally I stay close to the convention, but because it was her, I'm like, I'm staying near you. And she was all frustrated. And she's like, well, we're in a mall. She goes, they have to have a bedding department, right? I'm like, Carrie, I don't know. I don't live here. This is not. She's like, well, find out. So I asked one of the security guards if they could find out. And I don't know, about 20 minutes went by and he came by and he's like, I don't have any information. And Carrie went, he doesn't have any information about what? And I said, well, you asked about a bed department or something. And she's like, yeah. She goes, I know there's one. And I said, well, he doesn't know where there's one. And she's like, Derek, it's a fucking mall. So she threw her pen down. She stood up and she yelled to the line, I'll be back in a few minutes. She grabbed me by the shirt, picked me up, and we strutted off into the mall. Now we had 5 security guards surround us, and we're walking literally through Milton Keynes Mall, just from department to department to department, until she found the bedding department. And she went, see, I told you. And she grabbed me, threw me down onto the bed, threw herself up on top of me, put her head on my shoulder, and she said, I'm going to take a nap. And she fell asleep for 20 minutes. We had security surrounding the bed. I'm sitting there with my eyes, like I'm not knowing what to do. And I'm thinking to myself, and there were people, I've asked this, and so far no one has been able to do it. There were people trying to take pictures of us on the bed. I don't have one of these pictures and I want one. So, and I put this out there all the time. If anyone was one of those sneaky people that the security guards didn't catch and you've got a picture of me sleeping with Carrie in this bed, please get it to me. But yeah, she took about a 20-minute nap and then she woke up and she went, okay, I'm ready to go back to work now. And she just got up and stormed off and I had to chase back after her. And I always end that story rather with this comment, and the fans will get it, right? I got to sleep with Princess Leia. So there you go.
That's awesome.
Wonderful story. Thanks, Derek. And one last thing before somebody asks a question. Do more of the in-house cons if you can. Genius idea. I love it. I've done one. Wonderful.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm actually taking November off because I'm going to be going to see my family. I'm married to a Mexican, so we're going to go visit his family for the month of November. And they live in the middle of nowhere, so we're safe from COVID. We're actually safer in Mexico from COVID than we are here where I live in LA. So we're taking the month of November off. So this Saturday, the 31st, is the Billy D one. So make sure you get your ticket for that if you haven't already. And then we take that month, but the last weekend in November, which is Thanksgiving weekend here in America, the 28th is when we're doing the new hybrid version of In-House Con with Matt Sloan, Dave Barkley, Nalini Krishan, and Harrison Ellenshaw. They're actually going to be signing their items live, like we're talking right now. And while they're signing, people can see their stuff get signed, but ask a question. I'm not sure how it's going to play off, but there you go. But yeah, after that, I've already approached some clients about doing some stuff in December, before Christmas. So I'm hoping, we can. My dream is that December could be the last of it, because I really want to go back to work. I want to go back out on the road and meet everybody again. I want to shake hands and be on the road. So I guess it'll depend on what, November, 2021 brings. But if we can't go back on the road right away, I may do some more, in January, February. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I put a lot of effort into those shows, so thank you.
No problem. Thanks, Derek. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay.
John. Derek, we've had a couple more questions come in. Questions about your PO box. People sending items to a PO box. Can you address that? It seems like there's been
Yes.
some questions
Yes.
about that.
Could I please address that, Frank? Because again, this is going to be me sounding like an ass, and maybe on this one I may not. I may be an ass. Guys, seriously, for those of you who think that you're Sherlock Holmes, you're not. Okay. These internet trolls of fans that try to put out there that we have it's not a PO box, it's actually a UPS store. Okay. Here's the thing, guys. That information is not hidden. It is. I've never denied it. I've never said anything further from the truth. I've never denied. I've never hidden the fact that it is a UPS store. It is 100%. And do you want to know why? There are several reasons as to why we have a UPS store address. And here are the reasons. Number one, they accept all forms of delivery. And it's usually all throughout the day. I cannot interrupt my day doing the things that I do to accept deliveries from UPS, FedEx, Twice, DHL, UPS. I can't do that all day long. I just can't, guys. So that's the easy part of the answer. Okay, they get literally deliveries from every carrier, and it's protected when it's in their unit, in their building. I've had that address for almost 25 years, almost the duration of my company. They know me. The guys at that store know me. If anything went missing, they know that I'm not a pleasant person to deal with, because when I'm mad, I'm not very pleasant. I've gotten mad at them. I've gotten my annual membership sometimes renewed because they've made mistakes with stuff, and never send-ins. The send-ins are the things that never got screwed up. You know what got screwed up? Things that I ordered for my family on eBay or Amazon for Christmas. So they're very trustworthy down there. Okay, so that's the first answer. Second answer, okay, is I'm not a multi-million-dollar corporation like William Morris or CAA or ICM, some of these big agencies out here in Hollywood, guys. I work from my home. I have an office dedicated in my home, and I do that so that I can save money. I don't make millions of dollars. I just don't. And I cannot have people showing up at my home. And some of you are probably laughing and going, really? Trust me, I've had people show up at my home. Where am I getting feedback from somebody here? I've had people,
Jeff, is everybody on mute?
yeah,
I
everybody's
took care of it.
That's good.
Okay.
It's all good, guys. But yeah, we've had people show up thinking that, they're going to run into a celebrity or something like that. So it's for my own privacy, my own protection. But, for the fans that get mad and try to down me and my company by going, oh, they're not even legitimate because they have a UPS box and not an actual office. Guys, I do have an office. My business license is right over there on the desk. Here, wait, let me go get it and show you, because I don't want people to think I'm lying. There you go. There you go. That's my management business license here in the state of California, one for management and one for PR. And it is in an acrylic case sitting right there, so that when people come to my office, like my actor clients, they know that we're legitimate, because it says on that piece of paper that it needs to be displayed in your place of business. So it was never a secret, guys. And I really, again, I'm poking fun at the ones who have gotten mad at me for it. But Frank, thank you for giving me the opportunity, and people who know me get it. I didn't appreciate being attacked that I wasn't a legitimate business because I had a UPS store address. You want to know something interesting? The UPS store where my address is, do you know how many actors have their business addresses at my exact location? I run into actors all the time down there. I probably shouldn't be saying that, because now we'll have fans showing up at the UPS store. But it's the truth, guy. It's just easier. It's easier to have them take all of these stuff. We get it once a day. We go down there and pick everything up. It's safe, it's secure, and it allows me to have a little bit of privacy. But again, it was never a secret. These people, I see it on the internet. They're like, oh, we found out they're a UPS store. Yeah, we never denied it. So there you go, Frank. How's that?
That's great, Derek. Thank you. We have some more questions, but I just want to quickly bring up something cool that I saw on your Facebook page for Cool Waters, and you've commissioned Dave Dorman to do some exclusive prints for this signing. Can you talk?
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
Yes, I'm actually excited, and I'm actually really glad that you brought it up because I just got approval today from Harrison on it. Again, this is a reason why Harrison likes working with us. You know, I don't just do things. Harrison has full rights to his image, and he has full rights to agree to sign what's being signed and what have you. So anyway, I did announce a couple weeks ago on Facebook that I wanted to do an exclusive and that we were doing it. And I spoke with Dave Dorman, who I've known over the years, you know, met him numerous times at conventions, and I've been a big admirer of his work. And I figured, you know, we exchanged information at a convention once, and he's like, hey, you know, stay in touch or whatever. So I approached him a few weeks back with this idea because fans kept asking us, like, look, here's the thing, right? Before I finish the Dave Dorman story. And again, this is me being a fan and listening to the fans. Okay, guys, look, we have literally seen every picture that there is out there. There are very few pictures left that haven't been released in some form from the archives pretty much at this point. And this was a good thing that Official Pics did. I'm not always the biggest fan of them. I don't make a secret about that either. But give credit where credit is due. And Ben Stevens and his crew did an amazing job at getting some never before seen images approved through Lucasfilm and released as official photos. And it's incredible. And I've gotten some of those images and they're amazing. But the reason I'm bringing that up, guys, is we've seen low res versions of these pictures. We've seen high res versions of these pictures. We have people who print them out, even though they could buy them at the time from Official Pics. They would print it out on their computer and it would be a really crappy copy, or they would, you know, it doesn't matter. I mean, the point of what I'm trying to communicate here is we've been there and we've seen all the stuff that there is to be signed. And frankly, guys, there's very little left. There's very little left that hasn't been signed before, whether, you know, images or pops or toys or movie posters. So when we had the license originally back in the day with Lucasfilm, with Men Behind the Masks, one of my favorite things to do was to go through the archival discs and find images that were never released before. And back then, the approval process wasn't as quick as it was with Official Pics, because Official Pics had a different deal with Lucasfilm, and that was the whole idea behind of their license. Our license wasn't like that. So icons, we were only allowed certain images, and a couple of the images that I was able to get, I asked if we could have them for an exclusive, and they always go over really well because they're an image you've never seen. So I remember doing one with Irving Kershner and Billy D. Williams. We did it as a limited run of, I think, either 25 or 50 pieces, and it sold out in a heartbeat. It was gone. The image had never been seen before. Both of them signed it because Kirsch, you know, used to be a client of mine as well. That man, I love him to death. And so that's always in my head, guys, is what can I offer you that's different or unique or special? Because we've all seen the same Han with his blaster picture, right? I mean, we've all seen it. Now, here's the thing. That is a very iconic picture, right? And who wouldn't love having that hang on their wall? And when their friends and family come over, they're like, you know, right away, they know it's Han Solo. Immediately, they know it's Star Wars. And then they see that it's autographed. 100%, people love that stuff. But I'm always looking out for something different. So I had a discussion with Dave, and I kind of gave him an idea of what I wanted. And Dave jumped on it. He's like, oh my God, I'm so glad you asked me to do this. I'm all over it. Let's make this happen. So I did a contract with Dave, and we have an agreement in place. And today, Dave sent me the final piece, or I should say last night, he sent me the final piece for Harrison's approval. And today, Harrison approved it. So you guys are going to get an exclusive here. I'm going to show it really quickly on the screen on my phone. But this is original artwork designed at my request, approved by Harrison Ford. Nobody else has this image. And the contract that we've created with Dave is this image will never be duplicated again. It is only for Cool Waters and Harrison for this signing. The only time Dave will use this picture is in one of his books about his artwork, but it will never be duplicated again on a comic cover or a novel cover or as a poster, anything. This is the only place you can get it. So I'm only going to flash this on the screen to entice people, okay? Because I don't have the exclusivity mark on it yet, but there's a look at it. It's going to be Indiana Jones. It's an amazing piece. That's all I'm going to show you. Those pieces are going to be limited to 25 only. That is 25 globally around the world. They are hand signed and numbered by Dave Dorman himself. Then they get sent to us for Harrison to sign. We are going to pre-sell them as soon as we have the final framework done. They will be shipped to us all pre-signed by Dave. It'll come with a photo of Dave signing it, and then Harrison will sign them. We are expecting these to sell out because there are only 25 of them, and that's it. We're not making any more after this. We're not going to, if Harrison ever agrees to sign again, I'm not going to take this Indiana Jones picture and change the background from white to blue and say, oh, it's a new version. No. That artwork, one-time use only, this is it. And so I will have it on the website for sale this week. And it's going to be 11 by 17. It's going to be on beautiful archival paper. It's not going to be like on the cheap cardboard litho. Dave told me that he doesn't like using that paper. It's going to be nice printed paper. And yeah, so Harrison just saw that last night, and he liked it, and he said, you're approved. You can do the run of 25 only, and we're good to go. So that is going to be the exclusive, guys, that you've all been waiting for. I'm sorry for those Star Wars fans who are listening that it wasn't Han Solo. I am sorry, but for some reason I have a little place in my heart for Indiana Jones. And so I kind of selfishly chose Indiana Jones for myself. But Dave kind of told me what he was going to do with it. And I mean, seriously, guys, looking at the picture, when you see it online, you'll love it. He did such an amazing job. Dave is incredible. And, for those of you who know Harrison, Indiana Jones has a place in his heart as well. Indiana Jones is kind of like his favorite. He's kind of talked about that in interviews and stuff. Indiana Jones is kind of like his baby. So I figured, what better way to celebrate a nice limited edition that he's going to sign and do it for a character that I know that he really, really, really loves. So there you go, guys. That's the big news. I hope that everyone who sees it will be excited. So I am. I can't wait.
Derek, thank you for sharing. There's there's so many of us are fans of both franchises, and thank you for giving us that sneak peek of what's coming our way this week. That's fantastic, and a lot of us, especially the Celebration folks, we really appreciate Dave's work and all he's done for the fandom. Spencer sent me a message that we have a question. Spencer, is that person still waiting to ask me a question?
Yes. John K. He's in the queue right now. John, did you want to come on screen to ask your question, or do you want us to ask it for you? Jeff, could you?
Do you mean me?
Yes, you, sir.
You just asked it. I was asking about the Dave Dorman.
Oh, you also asked about the pictures during the signings.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So quite often when we walk up in person to get things autographed, I realize it costs money for us to get selfies or to go get professional photo ops. But if a lot of times we're not allowed to take pictures just of them signing the item just for our own memory's sake. I'm sure there's a contractual reason for that, but can you go into that a little?
Yeah, happy to. And I appreciate the question. Thank you. We rep over 140 celebrities. And in repping 140 celebrities, we have 140 different requirements, 140 different personalities, and it's a lot to juggle. Without getting, again, into too much contractual information, because it's not my place to say, there are reasons why we allow, because it's not we, it's the celebrity, but there are reasons why some celebrities don't want pictures taken of them and others do. Some of it could be vanity. I mean, I know from talking with people at dinner. You know, there are some celebrities who are like, oh man, I hate it when they catch me in a yawn or my eyes are closed or whatever. And, you know, it agitates people, especially people that are very aware of their brand. You know, they want to always look their best. Look, I'm a good example of it. Okay. I told Frank today that I would actually get dressed up in one of my spiffy jackets. I fixed my hair today and I've got my little lighting thing here, and I'm kind of disappointed because the sun's going down and I'm getting darker on this side. You know, I come from an acting background. I want to look good. Okay. You know, I used to weigh 300 pounds. I lost 120 pounds and I average about 212 now. I'm a big guy. I mean, I'm 6'4", don't get me wrong, but I'm very aware of the way that I look, and especially on camera. I mean, it just, if you're not lit well or you're not wearing makeup, you look horrible. So I know some of the celebrities that it comes down to vanity. And if that is the reason, then we just need to respect their wishes. It would be the same way as someone coming to your house and not taking their shoes off before they walk in, or, you know, picking up one of your prized possessions off of your coffee table and going, oh, look at this, what is it? You know, you respect people. And so if a celebrity is choosing a reason for it, you know, there it is. I do know that Cool Waters, with some of its celebrities, based on our contracts and other things, we don't want people taking pictures because I'll give you a good example of one that won't get me into trouble because it's an easy one. Okay. Prices fluctuate all the time. Cool Waters does its best to make sure that prices stay steady, but go up, never down. And it's based on the more body of work that an actor has and what have you. I got into an argument once with a fan who said, why is such and such an actor's autograph $50 when last year it was $25, and I have a picture of your price sign from your table showing the $25? And, you know, they're yelling at me like, and I'm like, okay, that was a year ago. You know, they were in a new franchise now that catapulted them to a different level. And I said, prices are always subject to change. I mean, how many times do you go to Walmart or Target and you notice that something went up in price? Or maybe Walmart's a bad example, but certainly if you go to the grocery store, you know, milk used to be, you know, $1. You know, milk today is nearly $5 a gallon. So, you know, so there are different reasons why we don't allow pictures. And I appreciate the question, but I would ask you, as well as anyone listening and who listens in the future, to know that if we are asking for something to not be done or to be done, there is a method to our madness. There is a reason for it. And we ask that you respect those wishes the same way that we would respect you in your house if we were visitors in your home. When you come to us at a convention and we're in our little booth space, that's our home for the weekend. We're there to meet you. We're there to be as polite as we can be and shake hands or fist bump or whatever. But within our home, there are certain things that we want or do on either behalf of the company or behalf of the client. So please respect those requests. And thank you.
Sure, appreciate it.
Great question. And Derek, thank you. Derek, while we're talking about photos, could you address something that you have up on the website, the Celebrity Send-Ins website, about?
Oh, God, yes, I know what you're gonna ask. Yeah. Okay. I was dreading this question, but it's part of the reason why I agreed to do this. Okay, I'm going to be as transparent as I can be, guys, and I hope that everyone will understand, okay? We have gotten inundated with people who have not received photographs from the last Harrison Ford signing. And it's because they were under the impression, because they didn't read things properly, that they were promised or guaranteed a picture of their item being signed. Now, I know for a fact that it wasn't guaranteed because it's actually in writing on our website that it's not. It was then and it is now. And we've actually revised the writing now to make it even more crystal clear. But I also know from the last time that we did a signing, I went on your show, Star Wars Autograph News, and I also went on another podcast group called Star Wars Autograph Universe. And I also went on a third one, and the name escapes me, so forgive me, but I made it very clear. I think Star Wars Autograph News was the first one that I went on. And so they got the initial announcement that Harrison actually agreed to allow us to take pictures while he's signing each item. But I did make it clear during that podcast and the one I did with you, Frank, that guys, we're going to take pictures, but we're not promising that everyone's going to get them. So here's the thing, guys. This was a big thing with Harrison. He didn't want to take pictures with every item. You know, it takes time, and he's very aware of his brand. But we explained to him that fans, they're not saying we're forging it. That was never a question. But they love their items so much, and they just want to see you with it. And you know, so finally he agreed. But it was with the total caveat that he had total control over how we shot them, the lighting. I had to hire a professional photographer. We had to have it lit. You know, we had lights in the office. We had to do test shots. Now, here's the thing, guys. We're running around the office or the signing area, what we're doing, trying to put stuff in front of him. At the same time, the photographer's trying to step out of the way and to take pictures, and it was a big nightmare. And the other thing that people don't understand, too, is that you know, sometimes the flash wouldn't go off. So that picture looked horrible. So Harrison didn't approve it. There were many pictures where his eyes were closed or he had a funny look on his face because the photographer happened to catch him, you know, yawning or looking up or whatever. Harrison didn't approve those pictures. So they didn't go out. And we got a lot of slack from people going, but you promised us we were going to have these pictures. Guys, we never promised it. And we're not promising it now. I almost didn't agree to do pictures again this time because of this mess. And not only that, but I've got stacks of photos, thousands of photos that had to be gone through to find pictures. I mean, we have them separated. There's a poster pile, an 8x10 pile, a toy pile, but you know, we had to go through them all. And that was once they were printed. Before they were printed, I personally had to go through every file, and there were thousands of them. It took me 3 weeks, guys, sitting at my desk hours a day, cropping the photo, color correcting the photo, brightening it if it had to be. If his eyes were closed, they already went into the delete pile. And then I had to send them all to Harrison to be approved. It was a logistical nightmare. So I went back and forth on it to do it again this time. But we're going to do it again, but we're making it much more crystal clear this time on the site that you're not guaranteed this photo. And I'm saying it again now, live. Guys, you're not guaranteed this photo, okay? You are guaranteed the autograph of Harrison Ford, 100%. And you are guaranteed that it is 100% authentic because I'm not in my office signing this stuff. I am there. I am physically watching him sign every single piece. And I have a record of everything that he signed. I write it all down. I know what photos he signed, posters he signed, everything. And because we use Beckett now, there is a digital record of it on the Beckett site. So you've got a matching serial number with that item, okay? We are going to attempt again to do photos with him with the full understanding that they're not guaranteed. He has photo approval on everything before it goes out. Everybody will have to sign a waiver that says that they will not put the image online because we don't want it blasted out. It is for your personal collection only. But it is a logistical nightmare, and we're only trying it this time, one last time. If Harrison and the powers that be agrees to do a signing again in the future, and anybody complains about these photo proofs this time, I'm promising you guys I will never do the photo proof again with Harrison. We do it with almost all of our other clients. People can attest to that. Literally, I would say 90%, maybe 85, but 90% of all the items that we have signed, whether it's stuff in our store or stuff that has been sent in, we provide photo proof when we can, okay? Some clients don't let us take pictures. They don't like it. They don't want it. They think it's cheap. Carrie Fisher used to hate it, guys. She used to call them the asshole photos. She's like, do you think, you know what she said to me once? She's like, Derek, do people think that I literally sit around my house with a photograph in my hand? No, I don't. I'm Carrie Fisher. I sit around my house with a drink in my hand and relax. So why do you have to take these asshole photos of me signing? Carrie, because people want to know that I'm not the one doing it. But literally, guys, not every celebrity likes it, okay? So again, there's a funny Carrie Fisher story. It's a true one, but you know, I can't speak for my clients. I work for them. And if they say, Derek, it has to be A, B, C, D, then that's what Derek does. And, so guys, I do what I can. But for those of you who didn't get one last time, and I've been emailing everyone. I told Kevin at KLF Sports, and I told Andy at Star Wars Autograph Universe, guys, if you get these questions right now, stop answering them. You send them to me and let me handle it. I am anal retentive. This whole photo thing has pissed me off to no end, in a good way, because I'm frustrated that the fans are not getting what they were promised. But it's a logistical nightmare, guys. It's something that I kind of, in a way, wish we hadn't agreed to. When we used to just do the generic photo, we would put like 4 items in front of Harrison and he would pose, and it would be like 5 pictures. And those same 5 pictures were the ones that were sent out all the time, and they represented the signing as a whole. I wish we went back to doing it that way. I fought politely, faught's the wrong word. I championed for the fans with Harrison to get him to agree to do this, and it's been a nightmare. So, we're going to try it one last time. But again, guys, if you don't get it, please. Isn't the autograph far more important than a picture? I mean, seriously, guys, I'm telling you, he is the one that signed it. I mean, people who are in the room, so that people know, okay? It's Harrison Ford. It's his assistant, his personal assistant. She's there. It's me and my personal assistant. And then it's Kevin and his assistant. 6 people in the room, every single one of us witnessing every single thing that this man signs. And Kevin's assistant and I are the Beckett witnesses. We are the ones that are contracted with Beckett to authenticate that it has actually been done. And the reason that I'm always telling people that, guys, I'm in the room and I'm handling everything, is because I don't care that there's another Beckett witness in the room, okay? I know everything that's been signed, and I'm the one that's keeping track of it so that I know it's legit. So, did I answer the question? I think I went off on a mean tangent there, and I didn't mean to, but it's just, I'm passionate about something like that. So,
Do you feel better, Derek? That's what's important.
I do. I take a breath of sigh and thank you. I'm almost out of my drink. Geez, I need another one.
Well, Derek, we couldn't have asked for more than, you've been more than generous with your time, because we are approaching 2 hours.
Are we really?
Already, it's already getting close to 2 hours.
What time is it?
It's
Holy cow. Wow,
time
I was talking for 10 minutes. Okay, well, I mean, if you guys need to, I mean, I can stay on a little longer. Are there any questions we didn't get to that we need to get to? Because that's why I'm here. I want to answer the fan questions.
I actually want to commend you guys. One thing I've noticed on several of the pages was obviously some people yelling about the pricing, but one thing I noticed was, especially with Harrison, the last 3 signings have been very much in line with each other. And that what I said to people was, why are you scoffing when it was pretty much the same prices a year ago as it is right now? This should be no surprise. So I want to say to you, thank you, because I understand the whole inflation thing, but especially with the price point with Harrison, which it is a high ticket item, you've made it, reasonable that people can say, well, I know, like, for example, Frank has a list of different celebration prices, and you can see where certain actors have gone up or lower per celebration, but Harrison's private signing has been consistent. So I want to say thank you, because it shouldn't be a sticker shock if you're seeing it once and it's similar the next time you do it. So thank you very much for that.
I appreciate that. And, I am aware of the prices, and that was something I answered at another podcast. They were wondering, this is when Celebration happened last year, and they were like, why are the prices more high at Celebration on my clients? And I had actually explained to them, no, a couple of the clients haven't appeared in a year, and this is actually their new annual rate. It'll be the same. I think Julian Glover was one of those questions. They're like, why is he 60 when he was 50 before? It's like, well, no, we've upped him and he's 60 now, period. Like, that's his price. So it just happened to be that Celebration was the first time you saw that price. And, with Harrison, I actually championed with Kevin. I got Kevin to agree. We actually dropped the action figure price on Harrison down 1 level. And again, that was because I told Kevin, it's like, again, I understand it's value related and I don't want to get into the contractual stuff with it, but I said, Kevin, like the pops, we tried to make it where it's a little bit more cost effective because it's one signature, regardless of the value. I said, let's put the figures in there too. I don't care if it's a figure from 1978 and it's a 12 back and it should be 1400. Let's put it it's at the 1025 level now. And Kevin, he went, you know what, Derek, you're right. He goes, let's do that. So we did that, again, just to help out a little bit. I get it's a sticker shock, but it is what it is, and we've discussed that already. So, but thank you, Spencer, for your kind words. I'm aware of it all, and I appreciate the positive feedback for it, because I get attacked a lot. So sorry.
No, I completely understand that. And, as somebody who goes to these cons as well, I'm looking, to see where the price is, for a different actor, and also look at where they've been. Like a perfect example is if you look at Riz Ahmed at Orlando Celebration, he was at a $40 to $50 price point. But if the situation didn't happen in Chicago and he signed, he was $80 at Celebration. And that was just after Venom came out and he was the main villain of that. So I was like, okay, I understand that. Ray Park was double, but Solo would just come out and he was, the big shock of Maul showing up in that movie. So I understood the price range, but the fact is that you're right. There are a lot of people out there who want Harrison for their product, for their item that they never thought they were ever going to get. They were never going to be able to finish the Holy Trinity. Luckily, they were able to get Carrie and Mark on something. And the fact that the prices, you can almost say, okay, they are leveled out for this one actor. You can anticipate, okay, well, if they do another one, if there's any fluctuation, it's not going to be too dissimilar from the previous one, because 3 in a row have been pretty much the same. It's easy to map out. So if you want one, you can't do it this time. And, God willing that there's another one, hopefully the same situation price point, you can say, okay, well, I'm going to start saving a little bit of money here and there. I know what I want to get signed. It's going to be that financial, shell out. I can actually save for that. And I'll know it's coming. So I just want to say thank you, because the fans are looking at that whole situation, but not realizing it's been leveled out. So they should show a little bit on that.
Well, thank you, Spencer. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Have we had other questions? Were there other last questions people wanted to get in?
I didn't see any, but a lot of people were showing appreciation for Derek coming on and explaining how the process works, a little bit about his background. Explain a little bit about the history of Cool Water, and especially knowing that, we talk a lot on our podcasts about the Behind the Mask convention. And a lot of our members also not only gone to that, but also, almost all the celebrations. So it's nice to hear that you have an in all the way back to that, because it makes you part of the convention lore of Star Wars. So it's nice to hear, all that. So thank you very much.
No, absolutely. Yeah. I actually found some old icon stuff in my archives, not signed stuff, just like magazines and stuff. I did an interview in one of them, and I should post them online. Frank, if I may, there was something actually that I wanted to talk about, because I wanted to let people know. Do you mind if I just take a couple minutes?
Oh, please do.
And it has to do with authenticity. And it's something that I get asked a lot, especially when people are shopping in the stores and when people talk to me about eBay. And so this is just a bit of an education. So, people ask, how do you know that something's real? I get asked now that I'm a Beckett witness, they think that I can also authenticate something, which I cannot, because that is not my expertise and that is not my agreement with them. So someone can't bring me something and I can authenticate it. I have to actually witness it happening. But I certainly, one of the things that I do look out for fans, if I have a fan come up to a table with a poster that obviously has forgeries on it and they're looking to add somebody, I'll actually talk them out of the sale. And that should speak volumes for me as well, guys, because you'll see that it's not all about money. It really isn't, not with me, which is probably why I'll never be rich, because I'm not concerned about it. And I've talked people out of it. And actually starting in 2021, we're going to have a new policy where some of my staff is going to be educated, and if someone comes up to them with a forged item, they're not going to be allowed to take their money, and I'm not going to take money even if someone insists on a fake item. And we're going to do that for the integrity of the celebrity and the integrity of the Cool Waters name. Something else that we want people to know, even if it takes dollars out of my pocket, again, this is why I'll never be rich. People ask me all the time, you know, how do you know it's real? How do we know that you weren't signing it in your office? You know, at this point, people should know who I am. They should know that we're a backable company. But you know what the answer to the question is, guys? You don't know that it's real. The only way that you, the viewer, knows something is real is if you got it in person yourself. No piece of paper that says it's certified is going to mean anything. No sticker slapped on the back or front of it is going to mean anything. The only way to 100% know that it's real, guys, is that you witnessed it yourself. So if that takes money out of my pocket, then so be it. But here's the thing. Companies like mine who have a lot to lose are not going to screw over the fans. Me, people like Official Picks, my business partner from KLF Sports, and there's Tops Authentics. I mean, they're amazing. I love them. You know, we're not here to screw the fans, guys. And that's why we go through third-party authentication with the witnesses and we do the photo proof. But at the end of the day, the answer is still the same. If you didn't witness it, how do you know it's real? So if that is a concern of yours, then I would say don't buy from any company. But certainly don't buy the fakes on eBay. Another thing that you can watch for, guys, is price, okay? We've just talked about price on Harrison. You know, Harrison's autograph, on average, let's say it's $1,000 autograph, just for the sake of this discussion, okay? Why would you then turn around and buy a Harrison Ford autograph on eBay for $200? Isn't that in itself a red flag? If companies like mine and other autograph companies that you know are legit are selling it for $1,000, but somebody on eBay is selling it for $200, guys, it's a fake. I mean, the other thing is do your own research. Go on eBay and find a Harrison Ford autograph or a Billy D. Williams autograph. And then go to coolwatersproductions.com, go to our store and bring up one of those autographs and match the two. If the one on eBay doesn't even come close to the one that's in our store, it's a fake. And I see it all the time on eBay and Amazon and a lot of these other companies out there that are not legit. So be careful, guys. If you're going to invest in your collection and in your cherished possessions, do it with companies like mine that you know are legit, and that people like Frank and your group and other groups that are out there that stand behind us. You know, here's the thing. I represent these people, guys. The clients, they're my clients, okay? I'm not, you know, you'll notice I don't have Johnny Depp's autograph on my store. That's because I don't rep Johnny Depp, and I've never hired him to do a signing. The only people that you're getting from Cool Waters are the people that we represent directly or work with directly for a signing. That's it. It means that we've paid them money or we have an agreement with them, a contract. So you're not going to find a Johnny Depp on our website. So be wary of your collections. This is for your protection. Okay. If you can't witness it yourself, trust a good company or just don't buy it. Very simply. All right, Frank.
That's the
Sound like a priest preaching.
Well, you're dressed for the occasion, so.
Derek, I mean, I started Star Wars Autograph News in 2011, and you've had this connection since then. You're one of the first people I was able to connect with, and for me today, talking with you now, it doesn't get old. It's great to hear the passion that you have, and maybe some of Carrie rubbed off on you, but you say it the way it is, and I think that's for the people that are here with us now and that will be listening to the future. I mean, it's great advice, and it's great information, and it's a peek behind the curtain, and we really do appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much for your time, guys. I really appreciate it, and you know, thanks to all of you. So cheers.
We can't let you go yet, Derek. Hold on. Taylor has one more question.
Oh, okay, lay it on me. Let's go.
Is Taylor still with us? Taylor, you want to come on? Oh, Oh, I'm sorry. Taylor has some. Taylor, can you ask that question again in the chat?
I got it.
Taylor
I got
has
it.
Okay, you got it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the question is for you, Derek. Taylor signed up for a few items to sign by Harrison, and he was curious if there's any options to still send in for the Dave Barclay signing and have it carry over to this Ford signing.
Yes, we've gotten a couple of questions about that. So here's the thing, because I'm going to get myself in trouble if I agree to do it. Okay, guys. So look, here's the thing. Cool Waters Productions, LLC, the management and film production company, we are one entity. We are one into ourselves. And our website and our store is one platform and one computer system. The celebritysendins.com website is a partnership with me and Caleb Sports, and it is on a different computer system and a different platform. So they are two separate things. I don't actually have access to any of the information from the KLF Sports side because I would be privy to their private information the same way that they don't have that to mine. But we are the ones facilitating the signing, which is why everything is being sent to us and that we handle that part of it, which is why your order number needs to be on it, because that is the only thing that we are given is a report with the order number so that we know whose last name it is and we can say your box is here. But I don't know how much you paid, what you paid with. None of that is known to me. So even though they are being sent to us, the platforms don't cross. So when someone says, can you hold one item from one signing over to the other? Could we do it? Yes. And have we done it? Yes. And will I do it? Yes. But I'm going to do it reluctantly. And I'll do it in rare exceptions where if you contact us and say, look, Derek, I'm in the UK. Okay. I'm not one state away and it's going to take a day to get to you. And I'm sending a poster that's worth a lot of money. So I don't want you to send it back to the UK and then I got to send it back to you. If you can contact us, explain your situation, then I will make arrangements with you. And I'm going to tell you, this is what you need to do to get my assistant's attention and to get my attention when the box is open, that we are keeping your item. But this is what the biggest problem is, okay? We're going to do Dave first. Now, let's say that Dave has 200 items to sign. I might lose track of that one item that I said, look, I'll hold it for Harrison. And then lo and behold, we've already sent it back. And it's like, oh crap, we weren't supposed to send that poster back. We were supposed to hold it because the systems are different, okay? But like I have one poster here and it's been clearly marked. It was sent with Billy D and it has a big, someone like blue taped a big white piece of paper to the front of it that said, hold for Harrison, who will sign here with arrows. And then it had a place for Billy. When we go to authenticate that poster and go to wrap it, that's going to stand out to us. It's going to be obvious. But when we just look at the shipping address and we don't put two and two together, guys. So I know it's a long and drawn out answer and I apologize. My preference would be, please just let us ship it back and forth. I know it sucks and it seems like it would just be this simple thing, but it's really not, okay? In the rare exceptions where you contact me directly, okay, and then we work out like, okay, this is what I want you to do, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I can really be paying attention to it, we'll make an exception for it. It's fine. But it does make things harder for us, guys. Remember, we're dealing with not one or two items. We're dealing with hundreds and then thousands of different items. It even though you're thinking it's just my one item, it's really not, because everyone is asking us to do it. If the signings were in the same place and the signings were like days apart from each other, it would be a totally different thing, because then I can just leave everything in the room. That's why when we do the live signing on the 27th with Matt, Dave, Nalini, and Harrison Ellenshaw, the reason that we're able to do that is it's all happening here at my house in the backyard, and the guys are being told, your signing time is at this time, and none of them want to cross with each other because of COVID. So we have an hour to get their stuff signed. Then there's a 30-minute leeway before the next person arrives with their car. And then in that 30 minutes, we're resetting out all the posters again, sanitizing all of the pens, and prepping for that next person. So, but they're all being signed on the same day in the same location. So it's easy. It's not that easy with the Harrison stuff. So I hate saying it that way, but I'm willing to make the exception. But guys, really, if you don't mind sending it back and forth, it's just easier for us. But again, email me. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse with this one, but it's because
I think it comes from you
we can try to work something out.
Yeah, it
Excellent.
sounds like it comes from you wanting to help the
Yeah,
fans. You
I
want
do.
to,
I
but
want
it's
to. Yeah.
challenges.
Actually,
Jack.
one more thing before we close out.
Yeah, I'm here. Whatever you want.
Cool. So for those fans who are comic book fans, I did notice that you are working with Twin City Comics with Tori for CGC authentication. How did that come about?
It came about strictly because people were asking about CGC. And again, that's, it's one of those authentication companies that I was aware of. In my mind, again, because I have to be educated on stuff, to me, Beckett was fine. And why can't we just Beckett everything? But I do understand that CGC is a very different level of authentication, and it specifically deals with comic books. So, I had Kevin educate me first, and then he reached out to Tori and said, look, we'd like to bring you in as the CGC rep person or whatever, but you're going to have to educate Derek on it, because then the key thing is, guys, I had to go and educate Harrison on it and get Harrison's approval. So once that got done, then we did it. But again, the reason we did it was because the fans were asking, and we do care. And we said, okay, we're going to try and work this out, for those people. So for the CG fee backers, or whatever you call yourselves, the people that just want CGC and nothing else, we heard your call. We heard your request. We considered it greatly, and we've decided that we're going to give it a go. Now, hopefully it works. If it doesn't work, we're going to just, revert back to Beckett. Billy D had some comic books today, and the people that sent them in, they said, we know that you're not CGC, so Beckett's fine, but we want it, on the inside cover, the back cover, whatever. And people are allowing us to put it wherever. So, that's what it was. We listened, and we're trying to help. We are. I understand the importance of the value that it creates, especially if you're insuring your collection, or if you're going to will your collection away someday when you die. I get it. You want it the biggest bang for your dollar. So we're trying to please you guys. I hope it works.
Oh, thank you for asking that. I know that our group is very big fans and advocates for Tori and for Twin Cities. We're very excited to see them involved in this project. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, my pleasure. Tori's a great guy. I've met him many times on the convention circuit, and he's one of the few nice ones who are very cordial, very polite, follows the rules, doesn't question stuff, and he's very, very nice guy. So I'm happy that it's him. If it had been someone else, that I'm not a fan of, I actually would have killed it right when I was asked about it. But, when Kevin said that he was going to reach out to Tori, it's like, okay, Tori's a good guy. I don't mind working with him. And he's been great to work with. I mean, he's helped me write some posts to send out, and he's been trying to answer questions for people, because I don't know anything about CGC. So I send people to him, and he handles whatever their questions are. So yeah, he's been great advocate.
Awesome.
All right, Jack, let's wrap this up and make sure people know where to find all the cool things that Cool Waters has going on. We've been going for a long time. All right, Harrison Ford send-in private signing. Deadline is December 7th.
Correct.
All right, they can order from celebritysendins.com. Again, celebritysendins.com.
Right. And let me make it clear, Frank, so people know, celebritysendins.com is for the send-ins only. Cool Waters, on its website, coolwatersproductions.com, offers photographs that have been selected by us and Harrison that he's approved to sign for this signing. It includes original movie posters. As most of my fans know, I'm a big advocate on original movie posters. I don't do duplicate reprints. So I am always searching for movie posters, and the movie posters that are offered on my website right now under the pre-sale, they are not reprints. They're authentic originals, and I have very few of them. There's like, some of them only have one or two. I think a couple of them have actually already sold out as well. And then also this week will be the Dave Dorman exclusive, and that is on Coolwater's site only. It is not through Celebrity Send-ins. Celebrity Send-ins is for the send-ins. That's why it's part of the name.
Well, that works out really well. And I gotta say, there's also you have a lot of great Star Wars autographs up on the Cool Waters website, which is coolwatersprods.com. Cool Waters Productions. People search that on Google. You'll find the website. Go to the store, and you have autographs from all over the planet.
Yeah, we have autographs from pretty much every active client that we have, that we represent, and that's alive. We have their autographs available. And I don't know if you guys saw it, but we do have the exclusive. Do I have? Okay, wait, I have to go grab this. Talk amongst yourselves. Give me 1 second.
You give us the topic?
Yes, the Ace of Spades is your topic.
The Ace of Spades. Now we're talking about the Motorhead song, or no? Frank, one question that Mr. Notman, and I always call him Mr. Notman because he's so proper, had asked is for us to ask Derek, any insight as to when the 25 indie prints are going to go on sale on the Cool Water site? Ah, he's right here.
Oh, I'm back. It wasn't going to be that quick. So what was that question? I'll try to answer it.
Well, the Ace of Spades. No, just kidding. When will the 25 prints of Indiana Jones be on sale? Because I actually fielded a number of text messages throughout the chat and on my phone as to when those will go on sale.
It'll be this week. It's literally because I just got approval from Harrison. Literally right before I came on the show, I got the email.
Okay.
I have to take Dave's artwork and I have to put, I have to watermark it, and then I've got to create the thing for it in the description. And so, and right now I'm focusing on getting everybody's Billy D. Williams items shipped and out. Mm-hmm. So what's today? Tuesday? Wednesday is going to be all shipping. So why don't we say probably either late tomorrow night or safely at some point on Thursday, without fail Friday for sure. Because if I don't have it by Friday, Harrison will probably hate me because I rushed him to get approval because I said I wanted to announce it. So yeah, definitely by the end of the week, but I will do my best. Thursday should be, yeah, I hope. Awesome. I don't know. So on coolwatersproductions.com, this is an exclusive print that was provided to us by Topps. So it does have, the Topps Authentics logo in one end. And this, this is one of their licensed photos. But this exact image with the gun and whatever, this is exclusive for Billy D. Williams and Cool Waters only for conventions and for this signing that he just did. So as you can see, Billy signed it, and we had him sign all of ours in a nice, beautiful blue deco pen. It's going to look amazing framed. But this image, Topps does have other images of the Hermit, this character of Lando. But this exact image, as you see it, is exclusive to us. You can only get it through us. So these will be on the site probably the same time the Harrison thing will be on there as well. And so the reason I brought that up is because Frank was talking about merchandise that we have, and that's a really cool one because exclusive stuff, as I told you, it's something I'm always looking forward to. And we also we had Billy sign today a couple of images that have Harrison in it. They were listed on our website before, but I pulled them because now I'm actually going to put up a sample of it signed by Billy so that people can see what Billy's looks like. And then Harrison will be added in December. And then there's also a limited edition piece from Sideshow. It's a silver poster of The Empire Strikes Back. It's like I don't know, it's not that big, but it's pure silver and it's really nice. So Billy signed some of those and we're going to offer them as well that Harrison will sign them. The point of all of that is, guys, what Frank was trying to tell all of you was Cool Waters has a lot of amazing stuff on our website, all by our clients. Again, we don't carry autographs from people we don't work with. And we've got some amazing stuff. We've got tons of pops signed by various people, 8x10s, posters, lots of stuff to choose from Harrison if you don't have an item of your own. So I just took Frank's entire pitch and did it for him. So sorry, Frank, I'll be quiet now.
Derek, I'm going to ask you a question, but this is just for you and me. Nobody else is going to listen.
Good.
La 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 la.
Are we going to get a nice holiday sale from Cool Waters this year? Because I really like those
Yeah.
holiday sales.
Yeah, we've kind of become infamous for it. Yes, we will have a Black Friday sale this year. And I do that partly for the fans. You know, it does help me out, especially this year. It'll help me out a lot with having no work. But yeah, again, I'm always trying to get new inventory in and new pictures and new things that people have never seen. So yeah, we do our Black Friday sale every year. It's the only time of year that we put anything on discount. And yeah, Black Friday, we will have some great deals for everybody out there.
Excellent. That's music to my ears. All right, we're going to have links to everything when we post this up. But again, celebritysendins.com, Harrison Ford, Cool Waters Productions for a great selection of Star Wars products and autographs, and inhouse-con.com. You have your in-house, and this weekend on Saturday, Billy D. Williams on Halloween. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, and there's still tickets available for him for the live panel. It's only $2.99, guys, to watch the panel. And yeah, so thank you. And thank you, everyone who asked questions. And thank you for letting me rant and rave. And again, it was all said from a place of love, guys, because I do appreciate the fans. So anyone who tuned in live or who's watching later, at the end of the day, I do appreciate you all. And make sure if you're ever at a convention and you see me, come up, give me a fist bump. Just don't come up to yell at me if you don't like something that I've done. You can leave that at home.
All right, Derek, thank you very much for being part of our virtual Cantina speaker series. We've come to the end. This is where I would usually tell you who I guess will be next week, but next Tuesday is election day. I don't want anything to come between you and voting. We're going to be off next week. We'll still have our Cantina, but we won't have a speaker. So, get out there and vote, do what you got to do. And again, Derek Maki, thank you very much, president and owner of Cool Waters Productions. Thank you for being with us this week.
I appreciate it. Bye, guys.
Hi, Derek. Thank you.